call Critter Busters?
Dad's all torn up and Mom's got like a harpoon thing in her neck and they're getting bigger.
They'll eat anything.
You know, those, man-eating hairballs that you do not believe in.
Critters. They bite.
Welcome back, everybody, to They Bite Podcast. I am Chris Lax, and making his way from Grover's Bend, we have Chris Hampton. And also joining us tonight, we have the man who's going to contradict himself so many fucking times tonight, Sean Beard.
That's me. I'm the one. Hey, how's it going? All right. Let's talk some critters, guys.
All right, so we have today, actually, this episode is going to be out today, Tuesday, the release of Critters Attack, a brand new Critters movie from Warner Brothers Home Video. And first off, let's just talk about how much we were looking forward to this movie first.
I wasn't. New Binge kind of ruined my expectations, and this movie just kind of crept up and happened. So I had no expectations going into it. I just figured it would be okay because Binge was so disappointing that it's like, this will be good. But Binge kind of like beat the fandom out of me for a bit. You know, as far as like waiting for new stuff. How about you guys?
Same with me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just I hated A New Binge so much. I was just so let down with that series or whatever you want to fucking call it, that I knew that anything I seen afterwards, I knew I was going to like it. Like, I don't know if it made me biased towards the new film or not, but whatever I watched afterwards, I just automatically knew in my mindset that I was going to like it more than A New Binge.
Yeah, well, I felt the same way, I think, but
it looked like it.
Go ahead and contradict yourself.
Well, we got three different spectrums here because, as we were saying before we started recording, I like A New Binge now because I hated Attack so much.
And I'm pretty sure you mentioned when we did a review for A New Binge that you said you would never, ever watch that ever again and that you would never, ever like it.
But here's the thing, dude. I watched A New Binge like 10 times. I fell asleep 5 times trying to watch Attack, and then finally it felt like a chore to watch the whole damn thing, on top of, like, you know, power outages getting in the way and all sorts of fucked up shit like that, which we don't need to go into.
You were also really tired.
You're getting stabbed in the eyes with Binge, though. Binge was stabbing you in the eyes to keep you awake, where this one was just amateur as could be, but
this was very boring. Yeah,
I will agree on the boring part. It was a very slow pace, and I don't necessarily think that there was a lot of action that happened, but the reaction from every single character in the movie was so monotone that there was no feeling of action.
Exactly.
If that makes sense.
Yeah. No,
exactly.
And it's paced really bad. The writing is super amateur. The directing is amateur. Everything felt like it was some people who just grabbed a camera and went. Like cinematography, I don't care the score. 1 second it was like trying to be E.T., and then the next second it's trying to be Stranger Things. The next thing it's trying to be like some robot techno thing. I couldn't stand any of that stuff. But
everything's trying to be Stranger Things now, apparently.
Well, see, with The New Binge, I felt more like as I was watching, I couldn't believe how I was just watching someone, like, it was almost like someone was across the window where you couldn't reach them. They're just going, fuck you, ha, ha, ha. And you couldn't do anything about it, but you couldn't look away.
Right, because the kid in me is like, I'm going to pay attention to this bully, even though I shouldn't.
Yeah. But this was not as much of a fuck you. It's just like, it's just so badly done. I was more excited, like, I wasn't excited the movie's come out at all because, as you guys know, I'm not, like, necessarily hopeful there's going to be a new good Critters film, but there could be.
Right.
But I'll add an analogy similar to yours, Chris. So this one is more like you're in that same car, and this person's, instead of flipping you off saying fuck you, they're waving at you, but they have tinted windows so you can't see them.
Yeah.
I like that.
Squinting and squinting, going, what the fuck? What is even going on in there?
Here's my analogy. I feel like we're going in too deep too fast, but New Binge was like seeing a band that sucks on purpose. So if you leave saying they sucked, you're like missing the point. This is like seeing a band that thinks they're good, but they suck.
Yeah. So like I said, you messaged me that earlier, though. I thought the same thing, but New Binge knows they suck terribly and had to try to hide it. Like, we're pretending we suck because we do suck.
Yeah, it's like halfway through they were like, guys, I think we suck. Well, let's just play it, you know.
And just to let everybody know that's listening, we've all had a couple sips tonight, so it's going to be going a little.
Yeah, this is the drunkest podcast we'll ever probably do until we all hang out together in person. But I want to start it out with Chris Lax because he liked it the most. So I want to hear some positives first. Let's start positive.
So I feel like these the creators, producers, directors, everybody involved with this, I know that you've said otherwise, Sean, how you feel about it, but I really genuinely feel that they were trying to make a legit good Critters movie. I think their intentions were there. I just think it just turned out not as good as what they intended it to be.
I could see that. Because I could see us all going in with good intentions and then afterwards watching it back and being like, hey, guys, we still kind of didn't do it good, you know, or something.
Yeah. And as far as the puppets themselves, we've had confirmation from people, so like Glenn Williams, who did a New Binge, he's even said that they've taken some of the Critter puppets from a New Binge and reused them in Critters Attack. And I feel like they wanted to do their own style, but Warner Brothers was like, sorry, you don't have the money to do it. Here's these puppets. Go do it.
And there's almost confirmation of that because Bobby Miller has even said in an interview like he had ideas and Warner Brothers would shoot him down on it and whatnot. So, which is kind of crazy to me that Warner Brothers was like, oh, no, don't do that with the Critters after letting New Binge.
I think that's why, because they saw New Binge and they're like, oh, no.
Yeah, that's true. They kind of gave them free range, and they totally, like, Team America'd the fuck out of it or something, just, like, full-on parody.
But Jordan also, even though, like, filmmaking-wise, he's not done anything good, at least, I mean, he makes bad movies on purpose. But
sure.
But he does have more general credits, working on, you know, TV shows and all that kind of stuff, so he might have had a little more pull when it comes to that.
Very well could be.
With it, or maybe be left alone a little bit more. I don't know. I feel like what you guys are saying, like, yeah, they probably did think they were making something good. I still don't believe that they were fans. Not that you need to be to make a good film at all. I think that they were like, I remember the Critter Ball, because they threw things in randomly that made no sense, and it just was not good homages. And
that's how I took it too. As a matter of fact, the dude who does Freddy in Space, who, if he's listening, I've always loved everything you do, he said that it was a good, silly rubber monster movie. And he's right. But I don't view Critters as a silly rubber monster movie, and maybe that's my own fault. But, like, I know it's comparable to Hobgoblins. I know it's comparable to Ghoulies, too. But I view it as, like, fine champagne, and those are just, like, you know, a 40-ouncer.
I feel like they really want to make, everybody that says that they're making a new Critters, the people from New Binge, people from Critters Attack, they want to make a serious, scary Critters movie, but they can't make the puppets look realistic enough, so when they're filming it, they're like, fuck it, we just got to go with the comical side because everything looks cheesy.
Yeah, it's almost like they're filming a few shots and they're like watching it back and they're like, you know what, guys, there's something about this. It doesn't look like the Kyoto brothers pulled off it. And that's just it. I said it on the board or the group or whatever. Like, you want a Critters movie done right again? You got to fucking bring back Don Hopper and you got to get the Kyoto brothers. You don't got to get Dee Wallace. We all love Dee Wallace, but were any of us begging for Dee Wallace to come back? That's not a saver when it comes to Critters. You know what I'm saying?
If they made the right type of film, it could work and stuff. But yeah, I see what you mean. It really, there's only one character besides Charlie, which as much as everyone wants him to come back, I only really care about the first 2 movies and stuff. So whatever. The only other character you could throw back is getting Brad back in there. And that's just not going to happen.
No.
At least he's not going to. At best, they would get what they got with D, and I bet they got D for a day or 2. Probably flew out for a week.
Felt like it.
Yeah, I mean, I actually rewatched it.
You rewatched it?
I did for one reason, because similar to you, but I got through it. I was on my phone most of the time when I watched it, because I was kind of dealing with a little bit of work stuff, and I was like, screw it, I'll just watch it at the same time, because I was really bored. So again, the second time I rewatched it, I ended up just like getting on the message boards or whatever, the Critters board, and talking, because it's actually far worse than I saw it the first time. But I still do. I don't want to like revenge hate it to like binge more, because I just don't. I think binge was. I hate
insulting.
Insulting is better. It was like a flat out. We don't like fuck you guys is what it felt like, and I know.
Yeah, we got trolled.
Yeah, like, hey guys, no, we were all big fans. I'm sure some people were in there having fun, but if these are the movies that we're getting, if these just, I mean, come on, people still have to stop and say, wait a minute. I know they're happy we're getting Critter shit, but this is what we're getting. A really shitty. That looked like it went back to the Sci-Fi Channel mid-'90s, really bad sci-fi movie.
Yeah, and worse than most, in my opinion.
That's not necessarily a bad thing.
That's where you come in. Yeah.
I like those type of movies. Just the simplicity of it. All you need is just a small little plot, and you go from there. But you also have to have a really well-adjusted cast. You can't just have every single character be the exact same character with the same tone, expression. They all have to have a certain characteristic to them, and that's where they failed.
I think in their minds, the characters were bigger in their minds. I think they thought they might have thought their characters out, but they never put it in front of the camera, and they certainly didn't put it on a script, because the script was, and again, I'm not trying to bag on the filmmakers and stuff, but hey, at the end of the day, it was so amateur. Like, this seemed like, it didn't seem much more than Chris's, Mom's Turd. It's like a cheesy on-video film. It's just they had a better camera. It seemed just so badly done. The pacing, no one's around. It's so like empty all the time. Even when they have the one big scene while the critters are eating people, it's really 2 people and a really bad stuffed animal dog. It's not boring because they have a bone with blood on it. So.
There's no atmosphere or feeling of a town anywhere. I don't know if it takes place in Grover's Bend, because it's never explained. Like, did Grover's Bend get a college or something? I have no idea. The town's never announced.
Yeah, but 4 people in it.
Yeah, there's no feeling or atmosphere of a town setting anywhere at all.
Yeah, I don't even believe it was at a college, to be honest with you.
and I don't want to. I'm not saying anything bad about Scott Lobdell. That's how you say his name, right? The writer. Nothing bad towards him, but most of the stuff that was like the dialogue wise, I had no interest in whatsoever. I didn't care that this girl had a backstory about wanting to go to a college that her dead mom had tried to go to or something like that. It was not needed whatsoever.
No,
and what they shot, the script that they shot, however, maybe it was, Oscar worthy before it went in front of the camera, but if you were to base it off of what you got, like you said, there's terrible dialogue, no one cares about the characters, there's things that are just randomly thrown in there. I mean, even the critter ball, both parts, the critter's just out of the blue in a ball, and just and getting shot with quills, and it doesn't mean anything whatsoever. It's just like they get shot in the neck, and they just stand there, the high pitch, and then there's bagpipes playing. The critter's playing bagpipes, dude, and better than the guy plays it.
You know what I feel like? I feel like they. I feel like that was awful, but I feel like somebody was trying to figure out things they could throw in for references at the last moment, and they put in Critters 3 and just fast-forwarded through the entire film.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed. Outside of the Critter Ball and the fact that Dee Wallace is there, this definitely felt like it was made by people who watched Part 3 the most.
I feel like New Games is similar, as in, like, I think that they took the cheese ball aspects of 3, like the very kiddish stuff, and they made adult kid version and binge. A lot of people comparing this to the first 2. in not even the tiniest way, the closest you could say for two, aside from the critter ball, which whatever, you could look at a VHS cover or a poster and find that.
Yeah.
Is that there's more critters. But
Sure.
there's, like, no people. People are saying, oh, there's so much more blood and guts. Like, well, then how come the first one, whether you like it or the most or not, it's the best made film as a film goes, you know?
Yes,
And
yes, of
it doesn't
course.
need a ton of deaths because you care about what's going on the whole time.
Yeah.
So it's like
Absolutely.
a bunch of random people walking around and saying, oh, this is really gory, there's tons of deaths. Like, no, they're putting random bones or having a person lay there and a critter shake next to it. It's nothing like, I mean, the most ruthless death in all the Critters movies is still Steve in the barn getting attacked. It feels like a real animal's attacking somebody. Nothing
Which
else,
one?
Even two. Steve in the barn.
Oh, yes,
Very
absolutely.
Even two, when people are dying, it's still fun, but there's never like an animal attack.
No, there's nothing about that scene that is like a man holding a puppet while like screaming. It seems like a person being mauled by a real life animal. Yeah.
Yeah, and falling and hitting, the way April screaming, it just felt, to me anyway.
No, I'm sure we all agree.
That's more effective than all the fun gags in 2, all the cheeseball stuff in 3, all the supposedly dark, even though I don't see it in part 4.
And I think they kind of got they kind of got the not the stories, but like the ideas backwards, because we're focused on the entire series, at least 1 through 4, on the critters killing the characters. And in this one, it's all about people killing the critters.
Yeah.
Yes. And they introduce random characters blindly just to have them die. Like, one thing I really hated was the one dude at the sushi bar who's like, I have a YouTube channel. I have stress balls. And it's very not funny. And then he ends up dying, and the critter's holding one of his stress balls. Then it has the dude with the bagpipes, and it's very not funny. And then when he dies, the critters have the bagpipes. It hits not at all. It just doesn't hit. It's like they set up something to be referenced, and it's like, well, I didn't even care if that got brought back. I was kind of pissed off when it first happened.
Yeah, they didn't flesh it out even to try to make it to where you could maybe think something was funny. It was like, it wasn't funny enough for them to have any comedy in it, but it wasn't serious enough for them to have any, like, fear or scares.
Like, the first few minutes of the movie when the the sushi delivery guy gets killed, and then the critter picks up a piece of sushi and is like, I honestly chuckled the first time. I was like, oh, that's cute. But in the back of my mind, I was like, ooh, they're going to blow this out. They're going to blow this out, though.
Yeah.
And they did. I think, I don't even know what to make of this movie because it was just so boring to me. It was like, it literally was like watching a sci-fi movie when I was 10 years old in the 90s and just like reading a book during it and looking up and stuff just when the music tells me that something is going to happen. I'm thinking of like Alligator 2 or something like that, you know?
Yeah. To me, it just seemed like a home video style movie, like someone made a home video that happened to have some puppets and a better camera. But it felt like, it just felt like, you ever seen those, or like somebody makes a YouTube movie that's just, I'm not talking about like the bounty hunters thing everyone loves. I'm talking about just those cheesy little things you see, or that one Critters thing from like 5 parts you posted a while ago, Chris. This is almost, to me, like someone with a little bit more money did that. It's the same type of vibe, though.
Yeah,
it really is.
Yeah, Critters the Return. Yeah, I see. This almost feels like it is, even though there's a lot of stuff that I don't like about it, which we'll get to later on. But it still felt like an actual Critters movie to me. It did. Like, A New Binge did not. A New Binge just felt like it was somebody who made it for fun that didn't have the rights to it. But then Warner Brothers was like, oh, well, we'll just release it ourselves anyways because we can. This one felt like it was actually produced by Warner Brothers and had at least somewhat of people behind it that were making, Critters movies.
I'll give you that. I think what I've come to accept with New Binge is if it were really like, hey guys, can you believe it? Someone is actually making a porno parody of Critters, and they call it Critters. And we were like, dude, we have to buy it, and we all got it in, and we all watched it as a softcore porno parody. We'd all be like, dude, that was fucking amazing. Like, I really think we would all feel that way if it was sold to us that way. Because we'd be like, we'd go into it knowing it was a parody, knowing it was a softcore porno, knowing it was Critters, and we'd be like, you know what, dude? It actually seems like this was made by fans. Like, they had the dude shooting quills out of the back pussy on them and stuff. Like, they obviously saw the movies. But it wasn't sold to us that way. So it was so shocking that we just fucking hated it.
No, not me. I think if you're going to go that route, you'd have to go farther, for one, into the softcore porn aspect instead of just a couple spots. And also, the comedy would have to be actually funny. Well, if you're going to go to softcore porn, you can't just have a critter go down and that's it. And
I agree. I'm just being an asshole.
But I just thought that the comedy was terrible. It was not funny at all in Critters New Binge. There was nothing funny about it. The puppeteering was they were trying to like have good puppeteering, but it just wasn't. And in this one, really, most of the puppeteering is not very good either, except for more close-up stuff where they showed it. It was a little bit more. Yeah. Animated.
I was okay with it.
It was the same, and that's scene with the loofah and things like that. That was kind of once I saw that part where the guy like reaches over to grab a loofah because he's got soap in his eyes, so instead of rinsing his eyes out, he reaches for the loofah. But anyway, he and puts it in his face. And from that moment on, I was like, okay, I could tell that there's only going to be puppeteering that's super up close on a couple things. The rest of it's going to be people throwing critters.
Right. I thought
the rolling of the critter balls was actually well done. They looked pretty legit. And I thought the biting with the mouth going across the legs and stuff, it wasn't CG, obviously, and it was actually a mouth going over top of a leg.
You're right, dude.
It felt a little real, a little bit better to me. And the one thing is, I don't know if this just made it better for me, and probably you all hate it even more, but there's one scene, the critter that gets stuck in the trunk of the car, when he when the car leaves, he's like sitting on the ground, and you can just see like his feet just like splatted out, like he's literally just sitting there like a little like 3-year-old kid. And I laughed my ass off at that, and I was like, oh, how cute. And
that didn't piss me off either. I liked it. I thought that was cute because I'm not afraid of them making the critters look bad every once in a while for the sake of cuteness. That doesn't ruin it for me at all.
This movie's pacing, the acting, cinematography, direction. This is like all the technical aspects. Like, I think New Binge had the opportunity for technical aspects to be better, like production-wise, but they just went. I just think that they make. I think I don't like Jordan's movies.
I guess I don't either.
That way, but I will say this movie it did feel like they probably believed in themselves. Which if they hear this or they're gonna kick you off Instagram or whatever, Sean, that's just pathetic because it's like, guys, sorry, big deal. If people don't like it. For one, is we're gonna be. A little harsher with our opinions. We're in that small couple hundred people group of real diehard fans.
That's the thing. And that goes back to me saying to the Freddy in Space dude, like, I don't see these as a silly rubber monster movie. Sure, I do. By part 3, I do. But the first 2 movies, and even though 2 kind of gets in that realm of like Gremlins 2 where it's a little more ridiculous, but I think that comes down to the Kyoto brothers made the original Critters look so good that even in those silly moments, it still seems like a real animal or alien that is doing something ridiculous.
Yeah. And Ghoulies, come on, you can't compare any of the shit to Ghoulies. You can't compare it to Hobgoblins or Munchies.
No. I just know that people do. You know what I mean?
I agree.
And that's it. Like, when people compare Critters to Gremlins, I've gotten over the fact of it feeling like an insult. It's a compliment because Gremlins is the peak of little rubber monster movies, and I'm sure we all agree.
Yeah.
Agreed.
For everyone in general, for me, no, but for the general, of course, especially Gremlins too, is people can knock the movie all they want.
No, I just saw it on 35 millimeter the other day, and it's the highest budget one of these types of movies will ever get, and it deserves respect for it. A bunch of my friends
worked on it. They said it was insanely fun to do, and it was.
I can't even imagine.
They made the dumbest things ever, but they made them the highest quality. I mean, if you see these things in person, they are so immaculately done.
I just watched it the other night, and it's just amazing how many scenes in that movie. It's like 30 years fucking later, and those look like real monsters. They look as real as the people. It's amazing.
Yeah, Rick Bacon's like the king, and he pulled out all the stops to do a Gremlins film, and it's just
right.
You know.
But let's not get too hard on Gremlins here, because that's just going to harsh our mellow. But so let's go over the movie. Let's see. One thing. Breeze past it a little bit. They killed a sushi guy and whatnot. One thing that I noticed that they brought back from the original, which is all of us only complaint about the original, is that when the cop dies, he gets dragged under the car. And even though we all agree that it's done quite well, it doesn't make sense. Like, they just pull him under and he just goes. They did that like 4 times in this movie.
When I was watching it, that was the first thing that came to my mind. I was like, I was just telling Sean about this on one of the podcast episodes about how much I did not like that in the first movie, and now they're going to use the one thing I didn't like.
Yeah,
literally, dude. Same thought crossed my mind.
It's like a critter grabs him and just goes running off with him, like he's a giant monster. You're grabbing this 150-pound dude and just yanking him faster than the 3 of us can probably pull him if we tried. That's what I didn't like. If he was slowly dragged away, I think that would have been more powerful.
Yes, they did. They always do it in fast motion. They speed it up a bit, so it's like, well, that doesn't even resonate with the way the critters act the rest of the film.
Yeah.
I mean, they kind of
if you're gonna do that, at least show a quick shot of the critter's hand grabbing the ankle or something, and then
go deeper into it and show how it happens, because that's what kind of like doesn't work with the original, is that they don't show it, and it's like, well, the rest of the movie doesn't work, because when they come up on the porch, if they were really that fast, everyone would have died in the fucking movie.
Yeah, you know what? I just thought about this. The only reason that it doesn't work in the first movie is because we're familiar with the characters of the critters. But when you that first death there, you're not supposed to know what the critters really look like then.
Well, damn straight.
But what makes me in that part always have noticed it so much is it was obvious that the actor also helped himself under the car. You could see him shimmy his way under the car.
Yeah.
That's something that to this day, there's never been one time I've watched that movie out of the hundreds of times I've seen it that I haven't noticed that he's pulling himself in. It never really bothered me that much, but it's probably if I had a complaint about the first movie, that would be my only big. I'd be like,
I think we've all come to that conclusion that that's our only complaint about the movie, but the rest of it's so good that it's minuscule. So it's like not worth bringing up.
But it wouldn't have worked if he I mean, I guess maybe if somebody actually pulled him under, fine. But there was just to have it so fast. It just, I get what they're trying to do. They're trying to get that but by now we all know it's like, come on, that just doesn't make any sense to it at all.
No.
I know it's the quick shoot for this attack thing, but I don't know. I thought that was a very just cheesy way out of doing that kill, and then to have him be incubated and you never go into it more. Not that you need to explain everything. I'm not a person that needs everything explained to me, but
no,
I didn't like the incubation thing. It just was it was just dumb, and it boom, they go launching out like they just got punted out of the stomach.
Let's get into that, because that's my first beef with the movie, is that they changed the lore of the critters. What I think they're getting at is that as they eat people, it somehow makes them multiply. That's how they give birth. They completely threw the egg concept out, which if they really loved the second movie, they would never do such a thing.
It's because of gremlins. That's when a gremlin gets wet, not Gizmo, but a gremlin. When gremlin gets wet, it forms those little things all over the body, and they pop out of it.
Exactly. So they try. In fact, that's it. These people were more fans of gremlins than they were of critters, because the Queen being pretty much a Mogwai ripoff, and then this multiplying thing when they eat them, it's a gremlin ripoff.
Yeah.
They put
more of a Gremlins 1 tone. And not a good version. I'm not saying good, but it was, just out of the blue, people are running around with a gremlin on the shoulder, and that's it.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
Gremlins don't really do that much damage. People die, but gremlins fuck things up more than they actually kill people, They just like to break shit. They're almost like Gremlins are half monkey, you know, like half chimp. They just
I always thought Gremlins was a big, like, commentary on the primitive nature of humans. Drink, smoke, do bad, you know, not worry about anyone but yourself, you know. But I never got that from Critters, you know, so.
This one seems, I don't think they do it. It's kind of, they don't do it justice. But to me, if you were going to say, like, you know, they're almost like a Harry Gremlin thing, the way you just explained. And especially no matter what anyone says, you can't get away from the queen or whatever being a complete mogwai. The whole lore of it, getting the Chinese guy to sit there, the Japanese guy, whatever, to, you know, sit down at the table, even felt like they were trying to do a little vibe of that going on.
Yeah, definitely. It reminded me of Karate Kid almost, or some shit.
The puppet looked cool in one of the pictures, and I was like, oh, but in the film, I didn't like the way. The other thing I don't like about some of the puppets were okay. They weren't. I'm still not a fan of any of them, but some of them were like better than others, obviously. But one thing I don't like that I see a lot of fan art do as well is they give them like a little neck beard thing, and then their stomach's empty of hair.
Yeah.
And it's so obvious that, because to me they still look like somebody just made some cheesy puppets, even the best ones. And the hair part they did on a lot of these. I know some were new binge, but they even had that on like the Mogwai looking one, where it just, you look at it, you know, like, this feels like a puppet. Like,
yes.
Please.
The first two Critters movies, those fucking things looked like animals that would exist. Yeah. Every time someone comes over and sees the critter that you made, Chris, they're like, wow, it looks like a taxidermy animal that never actually existed. And that's because it's so close to the fucking originals. And that is what made the originals. They look like something that could exist.
Yeah, for sure. I've always thought that, and I still watch it today. With the years of experience, seeing people, you know, do special effects, make puppets and stuff, I could still look at those things, and I'm just as excited, and they still hold up to me.
And maybe that's why Critters always surpassed Gremlins for me, because no matter how much Gremlins and Gremlins 2 really look like they're just as, you know, there as the humans, they still don't look like something that would exist if it could. The Critters did in the first two movies.
Except for Gizmo. Gizmo does look like an actual animal that exists.
Ah, yes. Okay, I'll give you that.
Even the first one, because the first one, the Gremlins actually are really cheesy looking, even though I love them still. They're cool design. They have a more of a cheesy latex feel to them. Gizmo looks pretty good, though. All the Mogwais do.
Yeah,
Part
absolutely.
2 is where they made it look like real flesh on a creature and all that kind of stuff. But,
yeah, totally.
Still, again, though, like I agree. I'm not saying, like, you know, people say, oh, it's a puppet. It doesn't look like it's real. It's like, no, it has a vibe that when I'm looking at probably 99% of the creams in part 1, there's a couple scenes where, like, okay, I want, like, the one in the truck and things.
Yeah,
for the most
my
part,
critter.
But you're like, they look like little creatures that are cruising around. They feel vicious. The way they do stuff, the way they're puppeteered, didn't feel like we were, you know, some guy. It didn't feel like we were seeing something with the hand up its ass.
No.
And even part 3 and 4, I felt didn't have the vibe of part 1 and 2 as far as puppeteering went. But even though they could do more, maybe that's just how they were shot. I know the Kyotos weren't quite as involved in being on set for those because they were doing other things too. But I think that's also that there was, at least in part 3, the director just didn't seem very experienced and stuff in shooting stuff like that.
Yeah.
But the first two, you just can't. They're fun, but they work. They don't feel like a guy just bobbing around, like a fur ball just bobbing around up and down, and every chance you just throw a critter where you see its legs just flop around. And
yeah, well, 100%.
That's what I felt in this one a lot, though. There were so many times it just seemed like a static prop thrown.
And let's see, well, Chris, what more positive do you have to say about it as someone who you did like it enough?
Yeah, I like the fact that you know how they had the female critter,
sure,
and all the critters of the entire race were completely bad. She was the good critter, but this is going to be back to another negative again. She's the only one, and she's the queen. So I was a little confused on, like, is the entire race supposed to be good? And they somehow, like, there was just a bunch of bad ones that went out, and they're trying to convince everybody else to be bad, or what? Or vice versa, is the entire race good, or Is the entire race bad, and they just had one person that was good, so she like defined herself as the queen?
Yeah, well, that's just it. That's what makes me think these people, they don't have an answer for that. And if they made a part 2, it wouldn't go into it. They didn't make this movie for anyone who's going to think about something like that. That's for sure.
Yeah, there's like, oh, the queen, it's a new angle, OMG, or whatever.
Spit along, Chris.
Yeah.
but getting to
fucking millennials.
But getting to that scene, though, is like it actually does involve where all the critters are there for a reason, so that makes more sense why there's so many critters is because they're all after this one thing. They're after the queen. So
but why?
To rape her or to? Are they trying? Because they don't need her to breed. Are they?
Yeah. So what the fuck? It's like, oh, we need to get rid of the queen because she's good. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. But we get a lot of good critter death scenes from that.
We do. Yeah, but that's the thing. This movie had more death scenes with critter. And, yeah, there's a little montage of critters fucking shit up and whatnot. But it's all weak.
There's
like the shot.
And I don't know.
No, there isn't a single good death. There is not.
And I guarantee you, Sean and Chris, you're going to feel the exact same way. In most movies, you always want the villain and everything to have they're coming. You want them to die, right? In this one, or like in the Critters franchise, you don't want the critters to die. You want them to live. You want to see the actual people die, like the innocent people. And
yes,
this one doesn't do that. This one is all about destroying the critters and seeing the glorified gore of them.
Yeah, it's like, am I supposed to give a shit about these people? Now, don't get me wrong. In the first 2 movies, there are characters where when Lee dies, it affects you. In the first movie, I love the dad and I love the mom, and when Dee Wallace is like distraught, it actually hits me because she's such a phenomenal actress, which we'll go into how that doesn't work in this one. But yeah, you want to see people die because the main character for you is the critters.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but what you need in any film, no matter what it is, whether you want to see someone die or you want to see someone live, you have to have some type of care about them, whether you're sick of them, you don't like them, you want them to live. But like having like the random guy come and take his shirt off and go, "Don't worry, guys, I was a state champion running down the track." And then he's
that was so fucking stupid.
Don't make me like it.
Like, come on, dude. If you're man, bust a left. Stop turning around and look at the ball. Bust a goddamn left or a right. Like, what are you doing?
Well, and if you're going to emphasize so much on that character in that scene, show the fucking death.
Oh, my God, I know, right? It's like we have this big homage. We got the critter ball, but then we can't do an homage where we show the dude's skeleton afterward. Like, come on.
It just rolls by, and that's it. And then at the end, obviously, spoiler alert, a big ball just sits at the top of the stairs and goes, "Perfect, I'm going to roll down." And they go, wait. No, it's like, you got a fucking laser cannon or whatever. Just start blasting it from far away.
Yeah, why is there a perfect time to blow it up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And one shot does it. Or something. Does one shot kill it? I didn't get to that on the second time.
And then it ends. I'm like, what the fuck?
That is the cheesy way out of saying we are expecting a sequel. We just did a good movie. We're getting a sequel, so we're leaving them hanging. Like, no. I was actually glad. It was kind of like someone just turned it off for you. So like,
I feel like they wrote it for television, and it's going to be on TV, so they had a certain time that they had to cut it out. So when it got to that ending, they were like, we wrapped it up, we got where we're going, the rest of this movie we're cutting out because we're going to make it time for the television cut.
Well, it
could very well be.
Anyway, it just didn't lead to anything, so I feel like they didn't have anything to end on.
No.
It never built up. It was just like, yeah, we're trying to get out of town. We got to go. And they're like not telling anybody with it. It's like, hey, come with us. There's like, yeah, we need your van. Well, hey, dude, wait a second here. Why don't we say, get in the van with us. We got to go. Hey, there was a customer outside that just ran off. Don't go outside, dude. I think he's got some sushi and you're hungry, but why don't you eat in the van with us while we're getting out of town? And so they're like, oh, hey, excuse me. There was one funny thing I actually did like, and I'm going to try and misquote it, but when he's like, when the Japanese guy's like, here's my keys, you take it and you go. And the kid's like, I can't drive, I'm only 12. He's like, exactly. Go. There was something cheesy about that one, the way he said that. And probably, however he said that, I kind of laughed at that about how cheesy it was. I don't think it was meant to be a joke, but it was pretty funny.
Well, that's the thing. Everything that's meant to be a joke fails so fucking hard.
Yeah, and I feel bad for maybe some of the kids might be decent actors somewhere, but I'm putting a lot of this on what's his name, Bobby Miller.
Yeah, I put everything on that guy because he banned me.
As a director, it just was not directed well at all. Just flat out, it's not. And people say, "Oh, you work in the movies, you think you know better." No, I don't think I know better as far as what we all end up liking at the end of the day. We all have opinions. But I can tell you, I've seen high-level stuff being done. I've seen low-level stuff being done still good. And this just was bad direction in all aspects.
I've taken directing courses in college, and I know that grants me shit for anything. But with that said, I know that whenever you're delivering dialogue and you're the director, you have to emphasize every, like the emotion of every single character. You have to know exactly why that character is feeling that, and you got to up the game on what they're bringing to it.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's just something you could tell. Again, I think that at least what was on screen, the script was not good. Editing was bad. The cinematography was really bad. And I will give it a better chance when the Blu-ray comes, because mine was a screener, and screeners are always crap as far as, they're not crap, but they're usually lower grade because they don't want to.
Oh, it's not going to help it.
No, what I'm saying is maybe some of the lighting might work better on, you see, okay, it's not, because it does make a difference for some things. I'm just trying to help them out a little bit. You know what I mean? Maybe it helps.
I appreciate you getting less cynical.
The way the shots are set up, though, the way the angles are, the way they did the weird steady cam at some points, like that cinematography aspect was just, you're watching it going, man, this just feels cheesy. Feels like, maybe the guys are all amazing and other things, but whatever they put together on this, it was terrible. The word I always keep going back to is so amateur. It felt like you're watching a movie that just felt like people grabbed the camera and some critter puppets and went out there and made something.
Yes, I agree with that.
I didn't mind the camera work. I didn't mind the critter puppets. I didn't mind the score. The score is a little monotone, just like the acting was. Like it's just not memorable at all.
Yeah. No, the score. It's the only time I've ever been like, man, the music in this movie sucks. Like in anything, but continue.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah,
it kept pulling me aside too. Like 1 minute, it's kind of got the E.T. vibe, and it goes to, I don't know, it was all over the place. I was not a fan of it either. And I think it also set a tone for an already boring film to be more boring.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just didn't care about it enough. Like maybe I wasn't paying attention to the music as much because I didn't notice it. Like it wasn't good enough to notice, so I didn't care about it.
Yeah.
So I think it was just that aspect of it is the reason why I didn't really notice the score at all. Is just because it's so monotone, and I was tired anyways. The acting itself was all the same level. If you put it on the graph, it would read just a flat line all the way across with every aspect. The acting, the score.
Very true. Yeah. They didn't even seem confident in the humor.
Yeah, but there is one thing that I did like about the movie.
Let's hear it.
So, at the very beginning of the production, they had this idea for a trailer. And the trailer was very, very nostalgic feeling. And every time I see the trailer, I still kind of feel that nostalgic feel of an 80s Critters film or 90s Critters film.
90s, I could see that. I could see like it being more. Yes, I agree because the trailer. I did like the trailer.
And myself, not expecting anything out of it, and already knowing I probably was not going to dig it a ton. Still, I was like, hey, why not? This seems like it's still wasn't all about the critter puppets per se, but I definitely was more interested, and it wasn't just because of New Binge either, because I had already given up at 3. So New Binge sucked and all, but it didn't make or break this film for me at all.
Sure.
So I was like, yeah, I definitely am interested in seeing this film, for sure.
Let's talk a little bit more about the breaking of the lure of the critters, because not only did they have that stupid egg lure thrown out with the incubation, but they also thrown out the spikes too, because
I know.
The spike shoots someone not only in the arm but in the neck. Near Dee Wallace, who got the first spike in the first Critters movie, and she was out cold. In this one, nothing happens. He's just like,
No.
the character's like, hey, does that hurt? Yeah, does that hurt? No, not really. Well, why the fuck did you even put that in the movie if it had no benefit whatsoever?
Yeah, she even checks it almost as if she had seen the movies and is like, no, it doesn't do anything. Well, why doesn't it do anything? It doesn't explain that the critters came down and they have less power for some reason or some shit. It just doesn't do anything.
Well, when you see the guy in the tent, the stress ball guy, I noticed him the second time around because it pans down on him, his body shaking because they're eating him. He has one dead center in his forehead, right? That still doesn't mean anything because they killed him already.
Right.
Yeah.
So that happened, but the first time around, I didn't notice it the first time. But I remember thinking, right before it actually happened, I was like, I guess they don't have spikes in this. And like a couple minutes later, the one busts out some spikes. So I was like, oh, cool, they're going to at least use this. And then when it happened, he gets hit negative, like, eh. And then he just keeps going about his day. It's like they're annoying you. It's like hitting you with a critter's spit wad.
Yeah.
And then to throw that little joke out when they're in the golf cart at the end, it was like, what is the point? Just, in my opinion, just leave it out completely. It's like they remembered at the end, oh, yeah, guys,
yes.
spikes.
Yes, they should have just left it out instead of doing what they did. Absolutely.
They should have had Dee Wallace's character show up and be like, guys, I've been training for so long for this to happen again, and the second she turns around, she gets shot with a spike and is out for the rest of the movie.
I would have fucking laughed my ass off. That would have been actually... Let's go into Dee Wallace, because where the movie starts losing me is as soon as they introduce her. It starts out okay. For some reason, it shows you that she's a crazy cat lady, but it never comes back into play. Then she grabs some tea, and then she goes to the bookshelf. And as soon as she grabs that book and that music comes in, like, brow, I was just like, oh, man, this is stupid.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
Dee Wallace, you have a character. Why would you waste that like that?
And Bobby Miller said in interviews, he's like, well, they wouldn't let me include it, but in my opinion, it's the original mom, and all of her family has died since then, and now she's a bounty hunter. But even that isn't good. That just sounds like the stupidest fan fiction anybody fucking could have came up with.
Yeah, I agree.
It's
still just the way they showed her. It was, you have Dee Wallace, who, regardless of how bad your film is, she's a ridiculously good actor. She's so good.
She is amazing.
But they didn't do anything with it. They had her show up by herself most of the time and just quickly shoot a critter.
Right.
I did like the way she said "krites," just because it was kind of cool to hear. Just, I don't know. It was like, oh. But
I didn't, but okay.
Yeah, I didn't like it either.
It was, I don't know. Well, then there you go. I like something you guys don't. What?
Well, that's why we're all talking.
I know, it's crazy. But, yeah, the whole time just watching it, going like she's just standing there with the gun. You just do something with her. Let her act. Not just stand there with the gun. But there's no place for her to act is the problem.
It's the only movie I've ever seen Dee Wallace in where she wasn't good. And then you got that new Devil's Rejects coming out, and I guarantee she's going to be fucking amazing in it.
And I don't even like those movies that much. I'm not a big Rob Zombie fan, and I guarantee you she's going to be the best part of the film for sure.
Were you guys caught off guard whenever she said "kill Krites"?
Yeah.
Because it was very bad timing. It's at the very end when they're on that field and they're going to go like shoot all the critters and everything, and she gives the other gun or whatever to the other girl, and then she has the gun.
Everyone just kicks them.
Yeah, and she's like, she just screams "kill Krites," but it's so sudden and so off-putting that it doesn't come out right, and it just feels like they took like 4 or 5 takes, and it was just her saying, "Let's go get them," and then at the last minute, she was like, "You know what? Let's just do this different," and she said that really quickly, and they're like, "All right, let's use it."
Yeah, and petty argument, but the gun sucked. It looked like a super soaker.
At least I'll give New Binge that they took a shitty old generic gun. And they made that was the best part of New Binge was the bounty hunter gun.
Mm-hmm.
No, the best part of New Binge was the fucking hot dog wiener thing with ketchup all over it.
That guy too. Those guys,
that was cool too.
They should get the gun to the
I keep seeing that pop up in like this Facebook group where it's like weird things people find at thrift stores and shit, and like people keep finding that giant hot dog thing And the first time it popped up, I was like, this might be a prop from the movie. But apparently it's like quite a common thing all around or some shit.
That's funny.
Maybe it's a Canadian thing.
I don't know.
Like if they're Ronald McDonald or Hamburglar or something.
Those damn crazy Canadians.
Yeah.
But yeah, Dee was such an underwhelming. It's not really performance. It was just an underwhelming character.
It was pointless.
There was nothing there was no place for her to act and no place for her to be a character.
No, and I see her in interviews, and she says, like, I like my role in this better because they make me a badass and stuff. And I know she just has to say good stuff to promote the movie and whatnot, but there's no way she can really sit there and watch this movie back and be like, ooh, it was good.
I mean, maybe she had more fun on this film for some reason, just personally. Who knows?
She probably doesn't remember the first movie.
Yeah, but as far as performance, there's just nothing to go off of.
No, and then she has like some live-in guy, and she's like, "Oh, watch the cats while I'm gone," and he's just like, "Ugh, what?" You know.
Like, even if they couldn't get the character names from the first films, at least have her sit down and have a backstory of being like why she's there and why she's doing what she's doing without even mentioning the characters. You could just say, "Oh, well, my family or something happened, and then this is what happened, and now I'm here."
She could have been like, I dealt with this before back in 1986 or some shit. She could have literally just said that, and it'd be like, oh, okay, filled in.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have helped it.
I was going to say you could have newspaper articles up on the wall or something, or have something in that room instead of a bunch of random computer screens, which is like, and, you know, like, she knew that the Queen was there, but she assumed the Queen was bad, and I'm just like,
oh, yeah, then there was that fucking thing.
So she's hunting the Queen.
Sure.
And the Queen lands on Earth, but to us, this is the first time that it's ever been on Earth. So how does Dee know? I mean, I know we know she's a bounty hunter, but for all we know, she stays on Earth because she has her headquarters down here.
Sounds like it, or seems like it.
So how does she know?
Shown up before. That's all we know. We assume.
Yeah. So how does she know that there's a Queen and that it's I don't know. I was lost on the whole Queen thing, but I like the idea. I think it's a good idea to have that Queen character. I just don't think it was done very well.
Well, you could almost base this whole movie around that quote right there. I liked the idea of it, but they didn't. Like, on paper, it's just a cheesy fan fiction, but with the right budget, they probably could have made this work.
That should be the quote on the back of the box.
I hate the budget thing, though.
The quote on the back of the box has got to be quoted from Sean. I like the idea.
It could
question mark. Question mark.
Yeah. Like,
the budget thing, it does. That's just a terrible excuse for because at the end of the day, it just was bad filmmaking. Just like when they say budget for new bands, it's just bad filmmaking, guys. You still are putting things on the screen that just doesn't.
Right. This had nothing to do with budget.
Yeah.
So where did the idea come from that the critters can die from a high-pitched sound? Because in Critters 3, again,
the critters make high-pitched sounds.
Yeah, that's how they attract each other.
Exactly.
So if they would have took the finger off the fast-forward button, they would have known that. And
well, I personally took offense because what kills critters is basically my music. If I could just get that out.
Yeah, you'd be safe. Sean would be safe the whole time. You'd just do a show and everyone goes to your show.
Yeah, exactly. I'll just save the fucking world. Yeah. Yeah. So I was a little offended by that.
I play bagpipes, do you believe it or not? I don't play them much anymore, but I used to. Bagpipes are way more high-pitched sound than a police siren are when you're right next to them.
It always goes back to corn with us.
Hey, Sean, if we ever make a fan film for Critters, we have to have a scene where the critters are going to explode by loud sounds. So you start grabbing a microphone to sing, and then both me and Chris are like, fuck this, I'd rather die by the critter.
What an honor. What an honor.
That whole sound thing, though, it was just like, what a cheat.
Oh, that was bullshit.
They didn't even use it good anyway, because they were just kicking the critters away. So when they used it, when they were using that blowhorn thing,
right,
like they were kicking them. And that one girl, when everyone's getting eaten around her, and they try to show that, like, Saving Private Ryan scene from inside a vehicle, and all these critters are running around and getting everyone, she just, like, casually strolls by, gets in the van, and goes, "Well, guys, what should we do? Should we get out of here or something?"
Well, that's just it. The first time that
everyone was dying.
The first time she sees a critter is when the kid who refuses to talk gets bit, and it's just like a laughable moment. And then they get out of the house and they're like, "Oh, you forgot the white critter or whatever." And she's like, "Okay, I guess I'll go back inside." It's no way, I'm not going back in there. It's a total like, well, I guess they're not that fucking scary or dangerous, so sure.
Yeah, she's like,
Yeah.
"Go in the car. I'll be there in just a second. Don't forget the iodine." "Okay, I'll get it too."
This is my biggest complaint with the movie, as someone who's addicted to the internet and cell phones and shit, as I'm sure we all are at some point. There were so many scenes with people on cell phones in this movie that it triggered me to want to pick up my cell phone. They literally have a character that refuses to talk. He refuses to talk unless it's through text messaging and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's exaggerated as fuck. Like, the kid has no fucking, like, moral compass for it or anything. He's just like, what is he, just a dick?
Yeah.
You know? And then that character was fucking stupid. And then they eventually get him to talk and whatnot, and in fact, they give him more character development than anybody.
Yeah, because he breaks through and says something.
Yeah, and if you're going to do something like that, at least have, like, his sister being with him or his family, another family member being with him, and they die in front of him, and he's trying to, like, save him, and then him talking is what, you know, helps him. And, like,
Thank you.
What should have happened is he's a super high-pitched opera singer, and he never talks. And right at the end, when all the critters come down, he finally breaks character and does a high-pitched thing where glasses breaks and stuff like that. He just starts singing the high notes, whatever it is.
It's so perfect.
Sometimes I watch the movie, I was on my phone, and I'm actually not a huge on the phone guy. I don't get on my phone a ton. So, both times I probably listened more than I watched on my phone.
Yeah.
So that is weird that you bring that up. Maybe that was a little...
Well, it triggers it, man. I mean, we're all from that. It doesn't matter how old you are. We're from that generation now where you have a cell phone right next to you while you're watching TV.
Yeah.
You know?
so I have another complaint, guys.
Oh, please.
So at the end of the movie, whenever they're all battling the critters on the field, and they're kicking them away, as you described earlier, so the critters aren't going to just roll until they get to your feet and then bite your feet. Because you know how in every single movie where there's a small creature or even like a small doll like Chucky, people like in the general public are like, man, if that doll ever attacked me, I would just kick that fucker out of the way, right? Like, It doesn't work that way. So, but it does in this movie, apparently.
Yeah, this movie like reaffirms all of those assholes.
But if you remember...
Taking a shower, that's it. As long as you're not taking a shower and reach for it by accident, you're probably fine.
In Critters 4... In Critters 4, Charlie is trying to explain to that one character, and he's like, now listen, they'll come at your throat and your face.
That's right.
So they don't just roll to your feet and then attack your feet. They get halfway to you and then they leap toward you. So you don't have that reaction to kick or anything. You're just pretty much defenseless unless you have a weapon.
Exactly. And then it reaffirms it in Part 4, which is my favorite death scene in any of the movies, when the dude gets killed in the pharmacy. And they're going for his, they're doing exactly what Charlie warned about earlier. And it's perfect, whether you like that movie or not. God, man, this movie just falls so flat in so many elements. Let's talk about the Chinese guy who comes in and they keep setting it up. We have the best knives in the business. God, so stupid. And then the guy ends up pulling out the knives and he's slicing up some critters. And then he never reappears again in the movie.
I was actually going to ask you guys, did he die? Because I don't remember anymore.
No.
He just chopped that one in half, and next thing it was just like, then they
forget.
You know what? The characters were so monotone, as I keep saying, that I didn't even remember him.
Well, I don't blame you.
I forgot all about his character. I mean, I didn't care about him anyways, but...
I think the most convincing character in the whole movie is the little girl who loves the white critter. And that's not like a huge compliment by any means, but she was believable in that childhood girl who just loves cute things and whatnot and wanted to protect it.
Probably the most animated anyone was, but it still didn't make any sense, is when they go to the park. Obviously a park that's around the corner that she's been to a million times. But she's like, oh, my God, I can't believe that. Look at this. Oh, my God, I can't believe it. Oh, and she's freaking out because she's seeing little, like, plants and things.
Oh, my God, a tree.
I was questioning that.
Animated. But it's probably the most animated anyone is in the whole... The rest of that's
It is. It makes her stand out.
I said that out loud to myself when I was watching this. I was like, why the fuck is this girl so excited about plant life? Like, that she sees
like
it every
never
day.
left the fucking house or something. Yeah. It's like, I've been looking this up online for years, and now we're finally walking in my backyard.
Yeah.
You know? As we said, there is not a standout kill. If I had one, it would probably be the shower scene, which I hate. But it does stand out because the critter, like, takes hold of the guy's entire head and face. But it doesn't go into it. Every person they kill, apparently, the critters multiply from. What the?
Well,
God,
it really
damn
did
it.
that one time. And it happened so quick because you got to think they go from, I don't even know how many are there in the beginning, to, like, 3 pop out of the guy. So are we assuming that every time they kill someone, because they never really eat anybody all the way, even the fat guy sitting there in the
No,
station.
you're right. And that is what I liked about New Binge, is that they were really focused on, even though they're an intelligent alien species, they are very sidetracked by their eating habits. And I know I know. It painted it as humorous, but it still seemed in character because the critters wanted to eat. In this one, it did not seem like the critters cared about eating.
Well, they didn't feel like animals, and I don't just mean the look. Part 4 and 3 and 4, they didn't feel like animals to me either, but they were much closer to them. But in New Binge and in this one, it seemed like they were super intelligent things stuck in a stupid body. Where in the first one, they felt like, okay, they could fly a ship and stuff, but for the most part, they were just animals.
But Sean, Sean, they weren't there to eat. They were there to kill the queen.
Apparently.
I know.
Were they, though? Because that's the thing. It never gets established that that's what they're doing. She kills a couple, but they keep going, oh, the critters are all everywhere we go. Well, they're never trying to really get to the queen. They're just killing things around them. They just happen to be there. But they only go to 2 places. They go from, I guess 3. They go to, like, the restaurant, and they go to the college. And the critters are there. Well, the critters are everywhere, aren't they? And your whole, like, 50-foot town that's, like, a house from the college. What is it? She's the only person. There's 3 people in town, and only 2 of them got into college. She wasn't there.
Yeah, seriously, they go to that college. Is it like everyone's on summer break, but these kids, like, stayed behind? Because it's a vacant college outside of those 3 kids.
Hey, guys, I got to throw this out there. This is totally stupid, but this is how boring the movie was that it made me notice this. Somebody got sushi delivered for $16, and there was a big old bag of sushi. Where are the sushi place for $16 delivered? I am on it.
Also, who gets sushi delivered? Or maybe I'm just from the country. Like, is that a fucking thing?
I don't either. But if someone's going to do it, they're going to do it for $16, like 1 roll. But that was a bad.
And what delivery?
That place is legit.
What delivery company only takes cash nowadays?
Yep.
Yeah, that too. Well, now we're just really nitpicking. Nothing in this movie was believable.
Yeah. But I was looking at. I noticed more little. This is probably easier to. This is definitely an easier film to nitpick than New Binge.
Oh yeah.
I thought was
because it's a better made movie.
Yeah, New Binge was definitely better made, even though I don't think it's better. I think it's better made. Like, at least they, it's just... Really? I don't agree with that.
You don't agree with that?
No, I feel like if the right things were there for this one, I feel like it would be a much better movie, but I feel like it's better made than what a New Binge was because, well, maybe it's just the aspect because, like, the New Binge had so much comedy and it was such a fuck you that this one didn't have that aspect to it, so maybe that's why I feel like it's a better made movie.
I know, I agree with you, but what I'm saying is on a technical aspect, I think with New Binge that they still got what they were going for. It just happened to. I think what they were going for is fucking a joke, and it's.
We just didn't want what they were going for, right?
Yeah, at all. but I think that they did accomplish what they were going for.
Agreed.
Where this movie, I get what you're saying, is it could have been, sure, but it wasn't because they didn't know what they were doing. It's like, I'm not saying that the New Binge guys were like better filmmakers and all together they make amazing stuff, but it definitely seemed like it. They just didn't. They picked something I don't like. I don't like a lot of movies though. This
Critters
amateur. Like
Critters Attack almost seems like the novelization could come out and we could all buy it and be like, dude, the novelization is actually pretty sweet.
Yeah,
because
they fill in those gaps of what potentially could be good. Well,
right.
I wouldn't say good, but potentially could work. They could fill in the holes. The massive, massive holes.
I mean, I still think New Binge fucked up the Bounty Hunters worse than Attack did.
Yeah.
Well, there are no bounty hunters in Attack except for Dee Wallace, but she's not a real bounty hunter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they didn't go into the shape-shifting element. She just has the gun. She just literally has the gun.
Charlie was. And Charlie still feels like a bounty hunter, even in all three. Still, even though I don't like 3 and 4, all 3 films that he's a bounty hunter in, he feels like a bounty hunter still.
Fucking right. Because he's the best bounty hunter, motherfucker.
She doesn't feel like that. She just feels like
no.
It's like a self-proclaimed bounty hunter.
Yeah. This futuristic gun that she got somehow.
Yeah. Well, I will say this. While I was watching it, the one thing that kept running through my mind was Bobby Miller approaching Dee Wallace at her booth at some horror convention and being like, hey, I have the money. I can do it. Will you reprise the role for Critters? It's just a 5-minute conversation. We're going to have you be the bounty hunter now. And she's just like, yeah, sure. You know, that's all that ran through my mind, like the whole movie, was a 5-minute conversation.
So New Binge, I think, I got a feeling that, and I could be totally off on this and just speaking for whatever, but I feel like New Binge was so bad, so fuck you, and so many people don't like it. I know Glenn and some other people say a lot of people like it because, the only people that it's gotten more probably likes is on the IMDb or the Shudder or whatever, because people actually hit the button, but most people ignore it and say it's crap. Most people do not like it, right? I bet you Bobby Miller and all those guys probably watched that or knew of it, and were just like, oh, we can't fail almost. Like, we're good. We're going to go in a different direction. We can't fail. It's like,
well, here's the thing.
Just making a bad film because there's tons of jokes. It's just you guys got to still understand what the reason people like the originals are for. It's not what you put in the movie.
Like 2 weeks ago, I commented on one of Bobby Miller's posts and said, I'm so glad you're making this movie after what we went through with New Binge. And he replied and agreed and everything, as much as he could without being a jerk. And then, of course, 2 weeks later, I told him, I said, I appreciate the attempt, but the general consensus is that was not good. And then he banned me.
Put on that?
He deleted my comment, but it was...
which post was it, though?
Oh, it was on his Instagram.
No, I know, because I actually went and looked at it, because I remember going, like, the real Bobby Millers, people trying to, like, pretend that the Bobby Millers or something. Okay.
Owned.
But I remember I looked on a couple posts from recently. I didn't even know where that comment would come into. That's why I was wondering which one of his posts, because there's only a couple of recent ones.
It was a total random comment I made on just a random post he made. It was about Critters, and I was just like, thank you. And, and then 2 weeks later, it was probably his latest post or whatever. I was like, it sucked. I appreciate the attempt, but the general consensus in the fan base was that it sucked. And it made me appreciate New Binge more. So I completely contradicted my comment from 2 weeks ago, but I'm willing to do it. Hey, man, I own it.
Listen, if you told him to go fuck yourself, you're an asshole for doing this, I could see him banning you. Or blocking
No, I was actually quite civil. I did use the word sucked, but I was civil.
It sucked. Hey, listen, you know what? Glenn he did throw a bit of a tantrum for a little bit, but he stuck around and he's dealt with stuff and he's handled it.
I like Glenn.
Yeah, no, he's handling himself much better, and because at the end of the day, that's what it is. It's like, people are there are some people that whine about it, And
No.
I know we're a bunch of drunk guys complaining right now saying this, but, you know, there's people that whine about it, or people that just suck their dicks of all these things, and there's people who are just saying their opinions, and some we're allowed to say, sorry, new bitch fucking grabbed my fucking ass and ripped it out. It was such an asshole movie.
It did. It hurt.
Mad about someone being offended like that.
And that's not an analogy. That literally happened, too.
Yeah. It did. Yeah.
Yeah. Prolapse.
But, you know, he's stuck around, and there's some other people that have thrown some fists and stuck around, or not throwing fists, but I mean, they got really upset by people's comments. But, like, to block people and stuff like that, it's like, come on. We all have room to have an opinion, even if it's completely opposite. The only thing I don't like on the page, and the only thing I really kind of comment on too much, I'll throw a little random stuff out there, is when people, because I notice that most of the people attack people for, if they don't like it, and they start getting personal, they attack people personally, is the people who like something and get mad that someone doesn't, and they're like, fuck you, and you're a fanboy, and all this stuff. It's like, no. People just have an opposite opinion. I don't see many people who don't like the film, or either one of these films, attacking the people who do. They might say, oh, come on, you probably like it just because you do. Right. It's critters. So for someone to block you because I will just say it flat out, and I don't care if I get blocked myself. But
no, I mean, could you imagine if everybody did that? I mean, like, listen, we wouldn't be able to have this podcast because I like Critters Attack. You didn't like it. So if we all felt that way, we wouldn't be able to talk to each other because I'd be blocking you right now because you had a different opinion.
No, exactly. We're all friends. I look at it as like, well, I'm glad Chris liked it a bit because, I looked at it as it was going to make for a better episode tonight. We all have kind of different standpoints on it, even though I'm sure the person listening right now.
Yet, though. Every time he says he likes something, by the end of it,
I think Chris just wants to like it the most of us.
I mean, I said this earlier, at least I said it to Sean, I think, when I was talking to you, that I have a lot of complaints with the movie, but I overall enjoyed it.
How much will you watch it
again?
I've only seen it once, but that goes. I've seen a new binge twice, so I'm going to plan on watching it more. And when I'm actually buying the Blu-ray tomorrow, and I'm going to go through the special features again, first, and then I'm going to go watch the movie again. So I will watch it. It does have watchability for me.
Okay.
And you never know. I might watch it a second time and be like, man, this one really does suck. I don't know. But
I think that's what's going to happen.
Maybe I'll watch it again and like it better.
The second time around is worse. As soon as I get my copy, I'm going to switch out on Plex so you guys can check it out too, just if you want to see the updated, the Blu-ray version anyway. And I'll put the behind the scenes on there as well, Sean, if you don't get the thing. If you just get
please do.
It'll be on there. It should be in the mail tomorrow, so.
Well, okay.
Tomorrow or the next day, I'll have it on there. But
okay. And this means absolutely nothing. But which has the better cover art?
For what?
New Binge or Attack?
I think Attack looks like it's easy. I've never liked the cover art for Attack. I think New Binge definitely does, even though I don't like it that much. It's still better.
I think a New Binge has great fucking cover art.
I like the cover art for both, but I like Critters Attack better.
Do you?
Critters
Okay.
Attack,
yeah.
Remember back when Blockbuster and Hollywood Video and all that shit was around, and you'd go and they started putting out even old movies like how they did the old Critters, films, and they put them on DVD now. So it's random, just I don't know, just looks stupid. You're like, why are you putting like this sun faded like critter face? Like
they fucked up all the cover art for DVD.
Yeah, and once they did the Scream movie, then it was just, let's put all the actors on a film.
Yeah. And then when Saw came out, everything had to be a white screen with one thing emphasized.
Yeah, that's just, the Critters Attack just seems bad, and I don't think they should emphasize the look of the critter that much, because I don't think they're hideous, but they're just, I don't think they're anything to, like, be bragging about or nothing like that.
No.
A New Binge to me feels like, or at least the poster art, it feels like just a mess of like Photoshop. Like somebody was just like, I don't know what to do. Let's just throw everything in here and there.
But everything is in there.
Attack actually feels like somebody had painted something, and then somebody kind of digitally overpainted that with like digital effects, and it doesn't look as good. It doesn't look as good because it was computer generated over top of it. But I don't know. I like the Attack one better.
Yeah, neither one of them I like. but I personally probably think New Binge. I think it's almost like a cheesy Star Warsy looking cover.
Yes, it's the old classic 70s collage artwork.
Yeah, I still don't like it, but if I have to pick out of the two, I would say that because I don't like overemphasizing the critters.
Oh,
I just don't like them that much, you know.
I know I'm going off topic here for a second, guys, but can you guys refresh my memory on the female critter again toward the end? What does it all lead to? Like,
what does anything lead to, man?
Does she go back to space, or does she just do they just drop it completely?
I don't
think it drops it completely. It all leads to her having that quick little battle scene where it cuts critters in half from first person view. It's pointless.
Is she at the end when Dee shoots the critter ball? Is she even around anymore?
No. They never meet. They never meet back up with it, from what I remember. And if they do, it's very minuscule. Also, for that one being the main crate, from what I can gather, they go out of their way to put it in a backpack. You know, they're like hiding. They're masking how little effects they have with that one. The whole movie.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I thought that too watching it today a little bit. I was like, you just see its face pop out. Wouldn't that thing be annoyed as hell? Stuck in the bag,
yeah.
Well,
it's like Billy's backpack.
Yeah.
Yeah. They should have had it toward the end after it's killed a bunch of the critters and saved the day. They should have it where it all of a sudden starts shape-shifting and it reforms into a person and it's actually a bounty hunter. And that's why the critters. That's why the critters were after it.
Thank you. God damn it, Chris.
That'd be.
God damn it.
Fucking talk to the real Bobby Miller first.
Yeah, I hope you made it this far into the podcast, Bobby, motherfucker, because that was the ending that should have been. It would have saved your movie a little bit.
Wouldn't have saved it, sorry to say, but at least you'd have something besides the little girl pointing out shrubbery that had some emotion in it.
Well, there's no ending to the goddamn movie. And then, the queen critter, shows its claws at one point and whatnot. But, okay, going back to the fucking loud noise that kills the critters. They'll have 3 critters right next to each other, and they'll let the high-pitched feedback come out, and only one will blow up. Why?
The other one just shakes.
Yeah. The other ones stand there inanimate. They're not even acting like it's affecting them. I mean, couldn't they have just made the 3 critters? But
yeah. I would say basically everything they added just went nowhere. It was like, I got a good idea for something new. It's like, let's just throw this in real quick. Because it actually wasn't even that big of a part.
No.
I mean, when her stepdad's dying, or her uncle or whatever it is, she doesn't even care. She's like, oh, you're dead? Oh.
Yeah, you killed the only family I ever known.
You use the high-pitched noises like a
Yeah.
siren. And she's like, okay. She actually says it
when it glows green, that's the time to look out for your family.
You know what? I was about to say that. Listen, guys, if Critters 3 was coming out right now, I would have a lot of these same gripes. Only thing I will say about this Critters Attack is the boring aspect. It's way worse. It's worse than Critters 2 for sure. But I can also say, though, too, for me, I know you guys are different. If Critters 3 and 4 had just come out, either one of those, I would still be the guy going, what the fuck?
Yeah, so I understand that. Yeah.
So to me, I haven't had a good Critters movie since 1988, guys.
I get it for you, brother. I get you.
Because again, being a little older than you, I think is what made it worse for me because you guys got into when you were kids. But I remember part 3. I'm jonesing for part 3. Part 3 was I gotta say I was probably more anxious for part 3, and I didn't know part 3 and 4 were going to be coming out similar times. But when I heard about part 3, I was probably more anxious than I was for New Binge and Attack.
Right.
It's been 20 years and stuff.
Right. I didn't get to experience that. They were all out by the time I got into it. You know.
We were
and I was so disappointed when I saw 3. I was like. It was the same feeling I had with part 2, as in, did I just watch part 2? When I finished part 2, I was like, did I really just watch this movie? And I was so excited. Only part 3 was like, did I just watch this movie? Because that sucked. How could this be?
Yeah,
I'm not comparing it as in this is better, or on the same level, but I will say, that's what I try to get a couple people to talk about when they're like, anything Critters is better than nothing, guys, and blah, blah, blah. I'm kind of like, if this movie, if all 4, 5, whatever 6 movies they technically are out, if each one of them just out of the blue was out by itself, would you give a fuck? Yes for 1 and 2 for me. But if Out of the Blue Part 3 just was the only Critters movie, Critters never be heard of. Critters 4, never be heard of. New Binge and Attack, if these both just came out, New Binge would probably have more standing power than the other ones, only because the shit gets fucked by a critter. Other than that, though, these movies would come and go, and no one had ever even heard of Critters again.
I could tell as a kid that 3 and 4 weren't that good, but it continued the story of Charlie. And
it all was the same world. It was definitely still the same world.
Exactly.
And I think they were making kids, too.
The thing with 3 and 4 is even though that they added newer, like, lure of the critters, they didn't take anything away from it. So, they added the aspect of them being able to make loud pitch noises in Part 3. They added the crystal. But they didn't, if they shot spikes at somebody, it fucking hurt them.
Exactly.
They didn't just take anything away that had already been established.
That's right.
They just added to it.
The eggs become a big plot point to segue into Part 4. I mean, the eggs are there.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, and if you read the script for Part 2, they actually they communicate more in Part 2 through a high pitch. Even though in the movie it sounds more like a bubbly sound or whatever they do. There's a couple tops where they're communicating, they're talking to each other.
Interesting.
Because that does happen when they're all sitting there out in the field. They can hear them talking. They're making that weird bubbly noise. They just throw it in.
You hear it's like whoop whoop.
Yeah, but in the script, they actually do it quite a bit more. And there's some fun stuff that's not in the movie in the script. Have you read the script for Part 2 yet, Sean? I'm sure.
Yes, I did. Yeah.
There's a few fun things. There's some dumb things too, but one of the things that they do use is the high pitched noise. That in Part 3, I used to always be like, "That's so fucking dumb." But reading the script, it made me go like, okay.
Yeah.
Not quite. I mean, I don't like the way they did it. But
I do. I love Blackie.
Yeah, I don't like the way they kind of made it, the way they kind of did it. But it makes more sense because they're like, oh, they've kind of had this. They just didn't emphasize.
Right. It's almost like they were making 3 and they considered the script for 2, even though there was something that wasn't used in it. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. But this new thing with them dying from it, and that one that just sits on the mailbox to show that it could die, that's kind of what it felt like. It was like, I'm just going to freeze to show you that the high-pitched noise kills me, so go ahead and turn that back on.
Okay, here's another thing I want to get into. The movie's called Critters Attacks, and then, which is a Mars Attacks ripoff title. And then what kills the aliens in Mars Attacks?
Damn it, Sean, I didn't even think about that. God damn it.
I haven't seen that in forever. Is it high-pitched noises?
It's music. It's loud music.
Oh,
yeah.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, they're going around with the boom box and they're blowing them up. Yeah.
That's right.
And then there was something else that someone pointed out, too, that's a ripoff of Mars Attacks in this movie. And it's just like, fuck. Yeah, your reaction completely nails it. Like, I can't believe it. It's so fucking obvious.
But they didn't do anything with it. Again, it's like,
let's
go that route, do something.
No, because I like Mars Attacks. That's a great movie, in my opinion.
Yeah, but they didn't do anything with it, though.
Yeah. What?
You just made me like it less.
That's what I'm here for, dude.
Why can't we write a script that doesn't take aspects from another fucking franchise?
Exactly. Well, like, this movie was more of a Mars Attacks and Gremlins homage than it had anything to do with Critters. And then every time it would bring in something like the ball or the spikes, it just blew past it and was like, meh, whatever.
Yeah, like in the first Critters movie, everybody's like, oh, yeah, well, you have the E.T. thing. It's like, no, it doesn't take an aspect from E.T.
No.
It shows a fucking E.T. doll, and then the Critter's like, nope, I'm eating that thing.
Yeah, it says fuck you to the idea that it's ripping it off.
Yeah. Is that and also the wallet.
Yeah.
That
true.
But like you said, it's a joke to. That's a joke.
It's an inside joke.
Yeah, and it's not a Critter joke either.
It's a
Critter, I mean, it's a little cheesy scene with the Critter, but it's not a Critter making a joke. It's kind of like, what the fuck is this? Like, hell, like your dog will do if you put a stuffed animal.
Exactly.
I had a stuffed animal a long time ago. My cat I put it there in my cat.
We've down the tactic. Like,
if anything, that scene's brilliant because it shows, even though they're intelligent, that they're not that much because it can't tell that a doll isn't real. So, yeah, I'm glad I pointed that out and didn't forget that. Yeah, the Mars attacks thing, once I figured that out, and the fact that they call it Critters Attack, that is fucking weak, dude.
yeah, because again, it's like, do a good job of it. If you're going to play that card, just play it. I'll give New Binge that. I will give New Binge that they went.
Again, I'll say they didn't do a good job with it, but they definitely said, this is the route we're going, full steam ahead. Where this one was just like, we got all these ideas we're going to just randomly just drop in. It's like you got a handful of marbles that little bits are just falling out. They were just popping in here and there. Just made no sense whatsoever.
I'm mad, like.
Okay, well, now we got Chris back on our level.
Well, here I was, like, I'm going to do this podcast. It's going to be awesome because I'm the one person that does like this movie. Well, I thought I liked this movie. Well, Sean brings up the fucking Mars Attack thing, and now...
Yeah, exactly.
Chris is not sleeping tonight. He is pissed.
He's gonna hate watching it again tonight.
He's going to hate watch it.
Oh, God. Just make an original story. Sit down, grab a pen, and start writing with the character that's already established in the universe. There's nothing else you need to do.
Simple is always better with stuff like this. The first movie is, and the second one is too. The only thing that they really went out of their way with in the second one compared to the first was funnier gags and things for the critters to do.
Sure.
It's plain Jane, simple story as you can get. And the first one is too. That's what makes it, half the time it makes
and also atmosphere, dude. Atmosphere. Yeah. The first movie had atmosphere. The second movie is almost like a Western. This movie had no atmosphere. And then let's go into the critters gags on attacks. The one that goes under the car and is fucking with the wires and stuff. Nothing.
Nothing.
It's just so they could have a fucking shot of that, which I'll admit, the picture that they posted of it under the car, I was like, that looks cool. But then when you see it in the context of the movie, you're just like, okay.
Like they remembered the critter getting electrocuted from part 2. And
right. They should have had the critter bite the gas pump, and then the gas would have gone into the critter, and then he would have noticed it, lit a cigarette, threw it out, and lighted it on fire, and it would have rolled away on fire.
Fucking amazing. Right there. Fucking amazing. Or let's go even goofier. That critter swallows a bunch of gas and it keeps burping out flames throughout the rest of the movie, and it becomes the one that can burp out flames. And that's stupid, but you know what? I would have accepted it more because it would have given that one more of a character. And then they make the one eat all the bubbles, and that's an homage to part 3, I would assume. And that pretty much went nowhere. You know, and also... Of all things to be homaged, and I feel like that was the best one they did, I mean, they might as well had one eat beans and fart while they're fucking at it.
They did. All they did is
it's like someone goes, hey, remember that part in that movie? Yeah, me too. And that was it. And that's how they kind of made the film with it. Because they're like, remember that critter ball? Oh, yeah. And they, like, show it, and then it's gone.
And do you guys, I think the critter ball in Attacks was reused from New Binge, but I think they added more animatronic heads to it, like literally one.
Oh, the biting thing?
Yeah, when they went around
it was just one, maybe there's 2. All right, I'm sure someone will correct me.
It was bigger at first when I was first like looking at it in the pictures and stuff, and then when I watched it actually today, after seeing Glenn posting about they use some critters, because I mean, Warner Brothers and them own it, so they can just make the critter puppets. Yeah. And it certainly was, especially when the guy's running away from it or whatever. He's like jogging and like turning backwards and sidestepping and dancing like a clown away from it.
Yeah.
When that part's happening, it's not that much taller than him. So it did seem, I'm like, yeah, that does look like it's the New Binge one. Because didn't somebody say, I feel like one of the posts, somebody maybe working on the film or something said, no, it's an all-new critter ball at one point. Because I think, Chris, didn't you mention that in a comment once? Like,
yeah, I asked I asked the question if they were going to be using the same critter puppets. And somebody replied back and said, I believe that they're all new. And then I think Glenn replied back to that comment saying that, no, some of our puppets were used.
No, I mean before, like when we first saw the Critter Ball. Like I feel like somebody had made a post like, "No, it's an all new Critter Ball," or because remember when the first one showed, it was up on the top of the stairs. That first picture was released.
Yeah, that was the very first picture we saw.
I could be wrong, but I feel like somebody had mentioned.
Yeah, it's escaping me. It could have just been anybody replying to it, though, when I think about it, because the only people that really talk in the group that are associated with the franchise now is Glenn.
Yeah,
and who I want to publicly apologize to, because I remember the first time we talked about him, I said that once this drops, he'll disappear from the community, and he's just as vocal as anybody, and I appreciate that he's more or less a part of the community now, and you know.
I mean, listen, that one post I thought was inappropriate of him to do, and I thought it was petty.
Sure, me too.
And I think he took that, and this is just my opinion.
I think he'd agree with us now.
I even wrote on my replies to him. I've had a couple replies on that where I kind of tell people off a little bit if they're being assholes. But with Glenn, all I said was, listen, people are going to have opinions. Chill out. But I'm all about, even if I completely disagree with the guy about binge and stuff, I like I told him that, I'm like, dude, it's all good. Like, I don't care. I'm all about people.
Hello?
I don't become more of a trend where out of the blue, we're getting more critter stuff, and I think that that's what people want to see, because I'm sorry. I still don't want to see any more new binge. I don't want to see more Critters Attack. But I wouldn't mind seeing something good with Critters. Or if you did new binge, say, okay, let's not do fuck you to the Critters fans. Let's make an over-the-top, ridiculous Critters film with those same puppets, but let's actually have fun and make funny jokes. I would deal with that much better than just because new binge to me was just terrible. It was not funny. It was a fuck you and not funny. If it was a fuck you and really funny, or not a fuck you and not funny, I could have liked it more.
Let me make this point and see if you guys agree. I think New Binge has more potential of making a sequel that's watchable than Attack.
I disagree.
Okay.
I'm in the middle of both you guys because I think New Binge most likely will go the same route they did, and it won't.
I think it would go crazier.
Yeah, but I don't think it would be good.
I think if anybody makes a sequel to New Binge, they're going to incorporate the exact same type of jokes that were in the first one, and
just rehash it.
Yeah,
if
exactly.
If they make a new Attack movie, they need to see. Originally, I thought it was going to be the guy who did Leprechaun, which I don't like Leprechaun that much anyway in general, but I didn't think that the new.
How dare you?
But here's the thing, though. This is one thing I was kind of going when everyone was saying how great the new stuff is. It's like even Leprechaun got something watchable. I didn't like the new Leprechaun that much, but it was. I did. Critters though, but if this new Critters was in that vein, I thought that guy was going to be part of it. I really did for a while. I thought I read something where he was going to be the director and a part of it.
Same.
It would have. Bobby Miller, I'm sorry, he should not touch a Critters film again.
I
don't
agree.
think Jordan Rubin should either, but if Jordan takes it his own route and it's funnier than whatever, but I think if somebody else were to take Critters Attack and go with it, then I think there's more potential for Critters Attack having a decent sequel with an actual filmmaker making it, or someone who makes decent films, or.
Right. Jordan Rubin has a style.
Film, so I don't know.
Jordan Rubin at least has a style, and you can't deny that. If you watch Zombievers and then watch New Binge, you're like, okay, this is the dude who made Zombievers.
I like the movies though, but I think he's just a guy who's he doesn't make good movies. He's not very funny. At least the movies he makes are not very funny.
No, they're not funny. I mean, you got to be like really lowbrow, like to fucking find that shit funny, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's just not funny.
If I was to go ahead and produce a new movie and hire a director, I would do one of two things. I would choose Jordan Downey, who directed the Bounty Hunter fan film.
That's right, because he is a fan. He would take time to make sure everything was correct. Yeah. He's not going to have those differences from the lore of the critters. He's going to put everything in there, and he's going to study it, and he's going to know exactly what needs to be put in there to make it good.
Well, have you seen his other film yet? Have you seen his actual movie yet?
No.
Yeah.
Until I see that, I won't see that, because 5 minutes of something I don't know, I have no idea. I'm not a huge fan of that either, but you know me. I like that into it too. But I've heard that Headhunters or whatever is actually pretty decent. If it's decent, I almost say don't get a fan. Get someone who knows how to make a good goddamn movie, because a good filmmaker will go back and look at stuff. I mean, Mick Garris wasn't a fan, and he made a good sequel.
Good point. I mean,
he's a good filmmaker. Someone who knows how to make a film no matter what you're using.
That's right. I love the new Chucky movie. It was not made by a fan of Chucky. It was made by a good filmmaker who happened to do something good with the product.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet. I do want to see it. In fact, I kept wanting to go every night. I was like, I'll go. And then finally, the one night I planned on it, I got it to go. It wasn't in the theater anymore.
I don't think you'll like it.
Yeah, I don't know.
But
yeah, I don't know.
Guys, if I could...
talk a bunch, but.
Yeah, go ahead, Chris.
Sorry. So if the other person that I would choose, I would go back to the original franchise creators, not like the writer or anything, but the producers, Rupert Harvey and Barry Opper. They were there through 1 through 4. They know what the critters do. They know how to work with the critters around everything in every environment.
Yeah.
So I mean, I would probably have them on as like not the official director, but I'd probably put him on as like a co-director, to have somebody new come in who knows the franchise a little bit, like has watched it, but they can be there to point out, the critters wouldn't do this or this character wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
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 Eric would do with it. I wonder if he ever would go back, because, I mean, obviously he's done a bunch of stuff since then. I wonder what he would do because, I mean, it's kind of his baby, too.
It's an interesting thought, yes.
Yeah.
I think they would all make it more serious toned.
Who were you talking about, Chris?
Herrick.
Stephen Herrick.
Oh, Stephen. Yeah, that would be interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, you never know. He could just take it all. I don't think Mick Garris would be a great choice. I think he would, because I don't like I mean, he does some stuff, but I don't know.
I think he was perfect for the one entry he did.
Part 2 was, I think, I agree, too.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
But I'd like to, just basically, we need someone that's going to be either an aspiring filmmaker that's eventually going to be making, like, really good stuff and like, has a really good eye for film. And I don't want to bag on Bobby Miller yet either, because I haven't seen his other stuff. But I will say this movie is not good. This movie, if this is a testament to anything he does, it's terrible. And I just wish he didn't make such a terrible film with something that,
And I mean, he has a booth at Comic-Con. This movie is getting, like, real publicity as if it's good or something. And all it says to me is just, your commoner type dude, is that money talks. Who you are talks. Quality doesn't talk. And it makes me lose faith, man.
Yeah. Well, I told you guys when this movie was made that the Sci-Fi Channel is amazing when it comes to promoting their films. And the fact that this one is going to be it's going to air on the Sci-Fi Channel, it was produced by Sci-Fi, therefore it's going to have a lot of publicity to it. They're going to have a lot of commercials on TV. Warner Brothers has even done a lot of promotional material for the Blu-ray release. And you were mentioning they had like the screening at Fantasia, the screening at Comic-Con. It's just...
Yeah, they really did promote it.
Yeah.
No doubt. I mean, when I go to Walmart next week, it's going to be on the fucking shelves. And I'll admit it, it's going to be a really neat experience to walk into Walmart and see a new Critters movie on the shelf at Walmart for me. That does mean something. It sucks that I'm going to know what the movie actually is and that I don't like it. But I just don't feel like these last 2 entries are going to make any kid be like, well, what are the originals like? And if it does, those kids are going to go into the originals and be like, well, man, what really got me into these was terrible.
That, or maybe they won't like the originals because they're expecting comedy.
Oh, God, I hope not. Yeah,
I don't think that's a new one, though. I think, what a lot of the old sci-fi movies did when I used to, because I don't think I can remember many, if any, that I watched from beginning to end. I never sat down to watch a Sci-Fi Channel movie, but there's plenty of times I watched. I've seen Frankenfish and all that shit all the way through in pieces. And I think if someone just sits down and turns the channel on, if sci-fi is even happening these days with all the streaming, but they don't sit down and catch parts of it and just go, oh yeah, that critter was pretty cool, had some kills. General average person, but if someone's going to sit down from beginning to end and watch it, they're going to be bored. It's definitely not
Yeah.
going to bring. There's no way. New Binge has far more of a chance of bringing new viewers in than
I agree.
Does. And that's only from the wackiness of it. Not because it's good, but because it's like, whoa, this is weird. This is a critter just fucking stuck on, went down on some chick. Or,
Right, porno parody.
Yeah, some fat kid with, weird hair on his chest and back and whatever. But this new one, there's nothing to take home from this. I still could get through this one a little easier on the brain, but there's nothing to look back and go like. At least New Binge had me annoyed the whole time.
It did. It did. I watched New Binge 10 fucking times just for the fact that it was killing me.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
You couldn't believe it. You have to watch it.
I did. I had a week off from work, and I had nothing else to do, and I just kept watching it over and over until my jaw dislocated,
Yeah. Make sure to put all the razor blades, take all the razor blades and the pills out of your room. Yeah, okay, I'm going to watch it.
That's right. I had to get rid of my fucking shoelaces, dude.
Yeah. Nothing I can hang myself with tonight.
That's right. But, I mean, yeah, this new entry was just so fucking boring.
It's non-existent.
Sorry.
It's just non-existent. Was that?
Thank you. I just had a cop ask me what I'm doing.
Oh.
Tell him welcome to the podcast.
Yeah, I was like, I'm recording a podcast.
It hasn't said kill more Christ.
That guy's probably like fucking dork. If I could arrest someone for being a dork, that guy would be screwed.
He's probably like he's in his pajamas. I can see 2 critter balls hanging from his pants.
Dude, yeah, my balls are like hanging out of my little 50s gym shorts right now. My chest is exposed. I look like a total fucking sloth. I think the fat kid from New Binge look attractive.
You got some critter babies incubating down there.
Yeah, that's right. No, that's funny.
So what is your guys' summary? Like, if you could sum up Critters Attack in one word, what would it be?
Boring. Underwhelming.
Yeah. Mine's got to be... I think underwhelming is a perfect choice of word.
Yeah.
That'd be really? Like, oh, man.
That's what I said when it ended. I went, really? That's it?
So did I. I know I'm going to end up watching it again when my son gets back. He's back, like, that's probably when I'll watch the DVD. I won't watch it till next. I have no interest. But I said the exact same thing when it was over. I was like, really?
Yeah.
Oh, somebody on the message board, in the group, they said it seemed like every single actor on set forgot to drink their energy drinks that day, and that's a perfect way to explain that.
Yeah, I mean, there's no reaction. Nobody acts like there's a threat going on. It's like a self-awareness that they're in a movie almost.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Sean, if you remember, that's one thing that me and you have always had a complaint with when it comes to horror films.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you gotta, yes, no matter how ridiculous it is, if the actors are taking it serious, that will make a ridiculous premise work.
Yeah.
It's true, yeah. And I don't know. I don't know what to say about as far as, like, if there's one word, yeah, if I had to pick something that had a description, it'd probably be boring or underwhelming as well.
Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised we've talked this long about it even, because for me, there is not that much to even say. There was hours to talk about with New Binge.
Well, you know what the thing about New Binge, at least it has a beginning, middle, and end in a way, where this one,
sure.
Notice that this is the first time, I think I've done 3 podcasts with you guys now, or maybe 4, but if we're talking about a specific project, at least like New Binge or something, we talk about how it starts, and then usually Chris kind of goes, okay, when we get to this part, and we talk about that part.
Sure.
And we get to this part. This one, you almost can't even do that.
No, it was hard to.
I don't think any of us could follow enough. You know where it starts, and then it's just the same thing to the end. It's just
Yeah, and I would the bounty hunter Dee Wallace. She doesn't even benefit them. She shows up and she kills one and is like, "I'm Aunt Dee," and then walks off and then goes to battle the queen and then finds out she doesn't need to. I mean, her premise doesn't even really affect the movie.
Yeah,
she's not a hero.
They could have kicked that too. They didn't need to shoot it.
They could have just kicked it. Actually,
they could have done anything. They could have probably put it where, like, she shows up and they kill a bunch of the critters, and then they think they're all gone, and they start to get in the car and drive away, and then, like, the big ball comes rolling down the street or something.
And then it ends on that.
Yeah.
Sure.
There's already no real threat to them. I mean, they make it seem like there is, but they're just running away, kicking stuff. So by the time she shows up, there's not a point where they could have had it where they're stuck in that college and they're all freaking out, and then Aunt Dee shows up and starts blasting when it's the last second, and then she takes them out and she's explaining some of her story to them while this shit's going on. Even though that's something typical horror that it gets annoying, you kind of come to appreciate that annoying horror because you're like, yeah, there's a reason they do that. At least it tells the story.
It's like the critters aren't a threat; they're more of an annoyance to them.
And to her too, for someone who's had her whole family eaten and she's traveled the world and made this secret room and kept all these cats or whatever the hell she's doing. It didn't even seem like that she cared that much there. She's like, yeah, the critters, they're here. Shoot a couple of them and I'll see the queen.
They should have
fuck that queen. Blast in the face. Fuck you, queen. Smile
they should have had it.
Fuck you.
They should have had it where, like, her character was killing critters, and then she'd have, like, all of a sudden one critter would have, like, eaten a cat, and she'd have been like, "You took my family, you took this, but I'll be damned if you take my cats," and then, like, starts killing all of them.
I would have liked that more. I mean, there's almost nothing we could say that wouldn't be better. It's just, I just can't believe how underwhelming of a movie that was. It wasn't a movie. New Binge was more of a movie, and it's broken up into 7-minute segments.
Guys, let's write.
It definitely had a movie flow to it more, for sure, 100%.
We need to write a script for a new Critters film and find a way to get it produced by Warner Brothers.
Well, we got that one dude in there that's like just joined the group, and he's saying like Critters at Pizza Hut and stuff. I don't know. He might be good. The hell's up with that?
Almost every time anyone's ever written what they think would be a good idea, sorry guys if you're listening to this, but it's always the worst idea I've ever heard.
Yeah, until you see these movies.
It's true, but when I hear like people, I got a good idea for a Critters movie, you're just like, oh my god, I hate to say this, but you won't be making a Critters movie, hopefully.
Well, yeah, me too, man. Because I love the community. I love everyone in it, but everyone just like that's the thing. It's just a little silly rubber monster movie to most people, and it's like, damn it, no. Those first two movies, no, all four movies to me is such a serious fucking saga. Did I use saga correctly? I don't care. It's serious tone to me. The humor is there, but it's a fucking good story. And at the end of the day, that is not what they're doing now. They're just like, they're hobgoblinsing it.
Yeah, 3 and 4, again, regardless of not liking them, they still have they're part of the even those stories carry the part 1 to part 4 beginning, middle, and end.
Exactly.
And they do go somewhere. I don't like 3 and 4 for like the way they were executed. But I do like the fact that they're still, they're still in that world of where you can they're still beginning, middle, and end to each movie. They still kind of flow with stuff. They went a direction I didn't care for. That's kind of the worst part about it, is that and like the execution of some stuff.
Right.
But
I mean,
that's it though. They're still part of something that I do, care about. Honestly, I'm not even joking. If it was the 3 of us, not saying it would be great, not saying whatever, but I would love to say fuck it now, especially after seeing this. I think anyone can make a film. But I'll make a couple puppets out of the original Critters. I can do it. I just haven't wanted to because it's kind of extra labor, and I kind of like having them sit there and whatever.
I'll make some fucking puppets, and we'll go out and make our own damn short film. I'm not kidding you, with original-looking puppets.
I'd be down. I'd love
Part
to.
one and part two, I got babies, I got fucking eggs. The eggs are officially fucking from, well, I mean, I didn't take the ones from the mold, but I got a casting from their mold. So,
well, because at the end of the day, I think we could at least come up with a few scenes that would just be like, hey, those few scenes you guys made were really cool, and it was better than anything that had happened in the last two movies. You guys might not have made a story or anything, but you guys captured the essence, you know, and that's it. These past two entries don't capture the essence at fucking all. There's no touching moments. There's no fear. There's no cool shots of the critters. You know, I'll give that to Critters Attack. I like the one that's missing an eye. Every once in a while when they show him, he looks pretty cool. But then I hate
shots where they like over Puppeteer's face. It's Puppeteering in between him and Newbig. I agree.
Yeah. I call those the Ren and Stimpy moments. They zoom in and they give you a lot of detail and it looks cool. You know.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know what we should do, guys? We should, instead of just writing a scene and making a scene or making a fan film or anything like that, we should make like a would-be trailer. Like if we made a movie, here's would be the trailer to that movie.
Yeah,
that way you get all the aspects of the entire story into one little video.
Yeah, it's pretty much what we're describing, sure.
Yeah, all 9 people who listen to this and who have certainly not made it this far, no one else is involved. I will totally be down with Chris and Sean, but please do not be throwing out random ideas because they will instantly be discarded.
Yeah,
I would totally do that only with you two.
We are the elitists. All right, skipping past that joke.
A shit ton of money to make the fucking puppets. Come on, my damn pocket.
Well, I'll tell you what, we could fuck up the whole thing, but everyone will agree that the puppets look damn good. I guarantee that.
Yeah. Hey, listen, we'll know if they're fucked up when we make it. At least we have that. So if it's too fucked up, we'll be like, yeah, we just never got around to making it.
Yeah.
That's all. And if it's really good, we'll put it out.
Exactly. I think this is the death of the franchise. Apparently there's me too. Do you agree, Chris?
No. I feel
you have high hopes.
I do have high hopes, but I feel like if it's successful enough, money-wise, doesn't necessarily have to be like critic-wise successful, but if it's money-wise successful on the Sci-Fi Channel, it can garner a sequel. And who knows, the sequel might just go off and be its own thing, where it's like, oh, there's Critters now, and it's Halloween time, or it's Critters now, it's Christmas time.
No, I agree. No. They're never going to bring back the cast from this one because odds are all the people in this movie are actually good actors who got wrapped up in this shit. And
I think that too.
Yeah, and I think if they pitch the script to them, they're going to be like, oh, no thanks, dude. I have a rom-com that I just got signed on to. I'm out of here.
Yeah,
you know,
it's going to
everybody does a horror movie real quick type thing, you know.
It's probably going to bring back like one-offers. Like there's not going to be any ties to characters. There's not going to be any ties to stories. It's all going to be here's Critters, here's this is the story.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, if it's simple like that, then it could work a lot better.
Yeah.
I hope somebody goes back to, because no one's doing new designs for the puppets. Everyone keeps saying designs. I hate when people even bring my name into that because I have not designed shit. I have flat out done my best to photocopy. I am a copier. I'm a cheater. But
well, you're a damn good one.
No, I appreciate that. It looks like what I'm trying to copy off of. But the people are saying these are new designs. They're not. They're just not the best executions. It's the same thing. They're just tweaking a little bit here and there.
Yes.
It's like go back to a more realistic look or change it. Because I've seen some of the Kyoto Brothers designs, Charlie's designs, that are different.
Yeah.
And he does it more anatomical or what he's thought about it more and more. I mean, even ones he's done more recently, not for new movies, just because he thinks Charlie's a creative dude. He likes to make stuff. All three of the brothers are. I'd prefer to see either go back to the original or make a new design for the Critters. Even if people don't like it, I can appreciate an attempt. I'm kind of sick of the bad execution. And
Good point.
If they're gonna do new movies, somebody needs to sit down, because I actually think that I think this might be the final nail in the coffin, depending on how it goes, but I think the death of the Critters franchise was 3 and 4.
Yes, I know you did
that.
Yeah.
And it's not to bag on the movies, but that's part of what annoyed me about him later on as I got older. I didn't hate him instantly as much. But as I got older, I was like, damn, if they would have spent time making those, or given more time for part 2 to get a little bit of, little more under its feet, where there would have been more interest in a part 3 and 4, then we might have had something more in the future. But because 3 and 4 are the last ones, that kind of seems like the bar that was set for new films to come out. And
I'll give you that. If 3 and 4 never happened, New Binge and Attack would not be the way they are.
No way. There's just no way.
Yeah.
Because 3 and 4 justifies people's claim that they're just silly rubber monster movies.
Yeah. And my dislike of them isn't that. I'm not saying fuck those movies. I joke with you guys about it. It's mine more of...
No, I could tell you appreciate the story.
Yeah, but I just, you have them. I always look back on, I even asked the Kyotos myself when I first went over there talking about, what happened with part 3 and 4? Aside from they wanted them bigger to do more animatronics, they said that the final stamp on approval for the sculptures, because, Steven wasn't doing as much of the sculpting and stuff, their minds were somewhere else, and they were doing stuff, and basically things were getting molded before the Critters had their final, because they would have looked more like part 2, more like real animals, right?
I think they were doing, they were off doing Ernest Scared Stupid at that point, weren't they?
Yeah. So their brains were on Trolls and other things. And because that's one of my biggest frustrations with part 3 and 4, honestly, that it's harder for me to go back to, is just looking going, God damn it, you had it. Why would you make a lesser version? And to me, the sculpture, and it's not like a lesser version like the Kyotos did a bad job. It's because the animatronics are much better. It's just the look. It's like somebody else did it, and they're like, oh, this is good enough. Like a lot of the fan stuff people do, which is why I'm a stickler for doing it differently, is they'll do something, and it's just that people love it. Oh, that's great. No offense, but it's not. It's cool, it's fun, but it's not great. And the reason it's not great is because it's not what we want. It's not the original.
Right.
So that
you're never going to beat the design for part 2.
Yeah. So I'm always like, why don't you have that? So go back to it. And I wish that there's going to be some. That's what always frustrates me about it.
And that's one of my favorite scenes in part 3 is where they reuse the Critters 2 puppet, which I think honestly might just be footage from part 2 being reused.
I think it is, yeah. Because they would have probably used those Critters more had they had them on set, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I think because the Kyoto brothers say that there's no part 2 puppets reused in part 3, and they're probably correct. There's just, it's an editing thing, and they put in footage from part 2, and that's why that's why they're like, whatever. But
if the franchise is going to go anywhere, I would prefer either someone does a good version of Binge. I don't mean actually do Binge, but if you're going to have fun and play, then do it good. Do it some justice. Or let's actually sit down, get a good filmmaker, or if you're going to use, just do a plain and simple story. Don't try to complicate things. You don't need to add anything to it. It's just a monster movie. We don't like Critters because it added a bunch of crazy shit. It's fucking aliens that eat people. There's nothing more. Nothing more. Nothing overly unique about it. Go back to it.
And make the bounty hunters matter again, because as an adult, I realized, as a kid, I was focused particularly on the Critters, and as an adult, I realized part 1 is technically better than part 2, and it's because of the bounty hunters. They are simply fucking amazing.
They're way better in part 1 than 2. Even though I like them in 2, way better.
Yes, they are. They are more just... They don't care. They're just blowing shit up. They have a fucking motive, and they do not care about our safety. They need to bring that back instead of having them just run through the desert.
I think Chris, or maybe you, Sean, one of you two brought it up. I won't fight it. And at first I was like, I don't care about that. It's cool, but if you're going to do Critters, I want to see Critters. The more I've thought about it, though, I would love to see a straight up just see what the hell, maybe even not those specific bounty hunters, but that species of bounty hunter, I would love to see them go to different planets and do different shit. I would watch a show like that, no problem.
Yeah,
and it makes
yeah.
more sense that you can take that farther than Critters.
As an adult, I completely fucking agree. I wouldn't have thought that as a kid, but yes, make a TV series that's based around the bounty hunters. Have there be an episode or two where the Critters come in, but let's face it, dude, the main characters in the first movie are the bounty hunters. It just happens to be called Critters.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, there's really, I mean, it'd be cool to see more Critters because we're just fiends for it. We're junkies for it. But at the end of the day, let's be honest. We have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 if you want. Hell, new binge in this other one if you really need it. There's not there's nothing, like, I am fine if that's what we have. Because it's hard, you're not going to take it much farther. The best we're going to get is maybe another cool movie, but we're not going to ever have, like, we're not going to be blown away by anything. But you can see with the bounty hunters. I think that's the only way you can actually be like, whoa, this is a really cool show. You never get that with Critters again, no matter.
I don't disagree. You're right. Like, as a fan, I was saying this to James at the drive-in. I joined that group years ago, met Chris and all that stuff. All we wanted to do was rap about these movies we loved. We never sat there and were expecting to get more. I've been content my whole life that we were never going to get more. This past year where we're getting it, it seemed like a dream come true, but it was too fucking good to be true. We don't need more Critters. They're never going to be able to do it good again. But they could go off the bounty hunter idea.
You can make that very serious, like a really cool, not comical at all.
I picture that, and it could be like one of the best TV shows of all time for me.
Yeah. Hell, do a single season even, just one season of like a mini-series, 10 episodes of something really cool.
Even if you wanted to stretch it out to like further seasons, you could have it be like in the first season the Critters are normal. In season 2, oh no, there's an alien spaceship that used these Critters for some type of engineering work, and now they look different, they have different abilities. And
right? Yes. You could even have a whole season where the bounty hunters are going off of different aliens, and then the cliffhanger at the end of the first season is that we get to the Critters. And it's like, oh shit, we're actually going to get the Critters again? And you know what?
Do something with the Critters. You can make, like you're talking about, Chris, if you're talking about all that kind of stuff in a regular Critters movie, I think it's a terrible idea. In a bounty hunters movie, it's great because then there's a reason. You're in space, you're in all these different universes and galaxies or whatever.
Yeah, right. I would never want to see.
Yeah.
Never want to see it in a full length movie because you're wanting all regular Critters in it.
No, but like I said, the bounty hunter, especially when you're in space, you get away with so much more in other galaxies and things. Like they don't need to come to Earth to have all these revolutionary changes.
Yeah, and it's already been established. It's already been established in Critters 2 at the very beginning of it when they're on that other planet.
That there are other aliens.
Yeah, I still don't get that. Even though I know it's in the script, it's in the first 2 stuff. Watching the movie, I never feel like they're on another planet. I always felt like they were in a cave and you see an alien. I wish they'd emphasized it more because the script is pretty cool how they have it when you read it.
Oh, see, I never felt like they weren't on a planet because they're in the spaceship and Charlie's like, we're going back to Earth? Really?
No, I didn't mean like they were on Earth. I mean, like, it just felt like they were in a cave, though. It didn't feel like a planet. It didn't feel like they were somewhere.
I always felt like it happened on the ship, to be honest.
I kind of did, too, when I first saw it. It just was,
yeah, when I see that big worm creature that drops on them, the, like, centipede thing, it just seemed like something that maybe invaded their ship. I don't know why.
Like, then you could do cool makeup and have them, like, they could transform into other aliens and...
well, because obviously they can, right?
Yeah. Well, think about it, though, unless they're humanoid, they wouldn't have a purpose to change into them, because there would be no point to change into a centipede monster but then have a man's body.
Right.
Then there's even more cool alien potential for stuff. It'd be like a cool Star Trek instead of Star Trek being stupid.
And that's where, you know what, that one dude, what did he call his short, Bounty Hunters? I almost think he would probably agree with us on this because he knew enough to call it Bounty Hunters. You know, like, the bounty hunters are who we need to follow. We don't need to follow around a couple of commoner humans again. It needs to center around the fucking bounty hunters.
Yeah. I think if you do a short film or a trailer, make it about Critters, it's fine. But if you're going to make anything more, I agree. I would even, fuck it altogether. Even if someone just made a film, not even a series, just a single film, I wouldn't mind seeing what they would do with bounty hunters as long as they didn't do anything like New Bench did with bounty hunters.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
I will say this: no matter what species you throw in to a show like that, the critters have to be the biggest threat that the bounty hunters could have.
Agreed. They should be the top dogs.
They were pretty crazy, but they made it seem like they were the last few that were left, and they didn't seem like they were overly worried about it as much as like the general galaxy was just like, these are a pest we're getting rid of.
It's like a parasite.
I'd almost rather have like what you said before, Chris Fat or Sean. I didn't. That's Prince. I don't remember which one of you said it, but where you don't even have to have any critter involvement, no talk about critters, because you wouldn't care about critters as far as the bounty hunters. They're on each mission, and then you get to a point where, like I said, maybe the end of a season or wherever, where the critters are brought back up. Like, oh shit, we got to go handle some critter stuff. I'd rather see it like that than the critters are this overall looming, because there's got to be way more fucked up creatures out there in the universe.
Exactly.
Galaxies or wherever. I think that having the critters show up, you'd have to do that. That'd be fun. But I would want them to be the main thing, because what I think that would do is, I think it would end up cheesing things out some more still. I think they would. I agree. I'd like to just see him cruise around the places, and then out of the Dante or whoever ends up talking to him just says, "Hey, we need you to handle the Krite situation," and then you'd be like, "Fuck yeah, let's go see him do some, fight some Krites."
It would be exciting to, like 7 episodes in, we get to see the bounty hunters battling all these other monsters, all these scenarios, and then the critters pop back into the scenario. I can just feel the excitement right now of like, oh my God, this show is kicking so much ass, and now we're going back to the fucking critters.
And
like,
you wouldn't have to think of this whole story of where they are, because it's the bounty hunters showing up to a situation instead of having to go, okay, we need Cindy and all her friends to babysit someone and be annoyed, and the critters need to get a baby. You wouldn't need that. You just go, okay, we're going down there, and you basically show up, and the critters can be in their situation, whatever they're doing, whether it's Earth or whether it's wherever. It would be cool to see. I've never cared about a critter planet, because I think no matter what anyone says, we end up being disappointed in what we saw.
That's stupid.
Fucking up another planet, though, with different aliens.
They could almost have it be where, like, they're battling some sort of alien creature, and then what ends up benefiting them is that the critters end up showing up and fucking, like, attacking these monsters, and it's like, holy shit, the critters actually, ironically, saved us.
Yeah. Or maybe they are like rogues. Maybe they're in other planets and stuff like that where they're ruthless. They're like something you don't fuck with, but at the same time, maybe they're around. They're scattered here and there throughout the universe, almost like a rat, but a fucking, you know what I mean? How they get places, no one knows how, but they fuck things up terribly. And because in a way, the bounty hunters are almost like exterminators in a way. When it comes
I agree.
And not saying that they're like rats, but
I got the perfect fucking ending.
Okay.
So throughout the entire season, they're killing off all these creatures and stuff that they're hunting down on different planets. The season finale is going to be they're on this like prison camp somewhere with all these different alien species, and they get stuck in the middle of it, and the critters unlock all the cages to every single prison that's on there, like every cell, and every single type of creature that's been killed and they've hunted down has been released to hunt them down again. All at once.
And then the critters are trying to eat them too.
The critters just release them so that they can eat them all.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I don't know.
Even if these were all done in a cheesy way, I would want to see it.
Because it's interesting.
Yeah.
Nothing about Attack was interesting, and the only thing that keeps justifying New Binge for me is that I've just accepted that it's a porno parody, and there's no way you can watch a porno parody and hate it. So it's you've seen Edward Penis Hands, you can't really walk away from that and be like, man, I fucking hated Edward Penis Hands. Like, well, me too, dude, but it's funny. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I still just I basically look at these last two movies. Aside from us talking about them, I think half the reason I've even thought about it is because I knew we'd end up talking about it some. But other than that, they just don't exist. 3 and 4 exist to me. I've never thought they don't exist. I don't watch them very often.
Well, that's nice to hear.
But these two don't exist at all. Like, there's not...
No.
To me, they're not part of the franchise at all.
No. What about you, Chris?
Critters Attack feels more part of the franchise than New Binge. I do not consider New Binge any relation whatsoever to the franchise, but this one does feel a bit more of it, and I may change my mind when I watch it again, but as of right now, the way it stands, I consider this pretty much a Critters 5.
Yeah. It does. I'll give you it's a little more than New Binge to me, but not by much. But I just don't consider it part. I just can't. Just because even 3 and 4, which not liking them, they're not boring at all. I'll give you that. Not even the tiniest bit boring.
Yeah, I'm not saying that I consider it in canon, because I do not consider it as part of continuity whatsoever. But I do feel like it's in, like, you know how, like for the longest time we had the Friday the 13th movies. We had 1 all the way through Jason Goes to Hell. And then Jason X came out, and I fucking hated Jason X. And it did not feel like part of the franchise whatsoever. And then a few years later, we're like, after we've had that in there, and then we got a couple more movies, the remake, I was like, now I consider 1 through Jason X like part of the franchise.
Agreed.
So it's like, I don't know, if it's, even though it's not really in canon, it's still part of the franchise, and I feel like this is the same way to me. Like, it's not in canon in any way, but I still consider it as the franchise. Not a New Binge. New Binge can kiss my ass.
Yeah,
fair enough.
Closer, definitely closer, for sure. It won't give us some time, but who knows?
I do consider New Binge canon, however. No, I'm kidding.
It doesn't. New Binge it makes even less sense than this as far as fitting into the franchise. At least this one. I mean, neither one of them do, but New Binge almost just seems like it just came out of nowhere. It doesn't even make a reference to anything ever, does it?
The Critter Ball and the spikes.
I'm not talking about the homages. I'm talking about. Does it make any type of reference? Does it even attempt to make a reference that the
in the beginning when they're like, we're going back to Earth, and they're like, oh, Earth, how could we forget? That's about it.
Yeah, but even that, it's just about because that one fucked the mom. But I guess so there's no reference to the other films, is what I mean. Like, now that you say that, yeah, they're just talking about that. So yes, no, it doesn't.
So it's like its own little world, like completely.
Yeah.
Yeah. This one, I mean, really the only thing that clings this one to the old stuff is knowing that Aunt D is Dee Wallace from she's Helen. That's really the only thing that even connects this one to it.
I think that aspect of it ruined it for me more than anything, to be honest with you guys.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying we as fans know, but it's not even really put into the film because other than that, there's no there's no connection whatsoever.
No.
Yeah. They could have done it. Fucking have a newspaper article that says, Color balls. I mean, something in Grover's band. Say Grover's band. You could say Grover's band.
Yeah.
You could say Grover's band somehow. Say Uncle Grover or say Super Grover, just like from the Muppets, and then just put band afterwards.
Oh yeah, they could have just put Grover in it.
Yeah.
Just have a sign. Have a car drive by a sign that says, "Welcome to Grover's Bend."
That's all I was hoping for. Exactly.
Yeah, I don't see that they couldn't. Warner Brothers owns it. Well, we got mixed reviews on that. Didn't we hear from... So Bobby Miller says he had intentions that he always thought of this but couldn't get away with it. Other people said, no, it was... Someone said it was never intended to be anything but Aunt D.
Yeah.
So it's even that's mixed back and forth.
I still go back to it was a 5-minute conversation at a horror convention.
Yeah, I think so too. I think they just wanted somebody in it. And I bet you the first person they tried to get was Scott Grimes, who's like, no way.
Oh, yeah. And you know what? And bless him for doing so, because, God damn it, he knows. I'm sure he's watched at least half of part 3 and was like, oh, God, I'm glad they didn't ask me to be in any more of these.
Yeah. I'm sure he doesn't like 1 and 2 that much. He probably thinks they're cool and remembers the times being in them, but, you have a different experience. I even have it when I work on a show. And then you go to watch it afterwards. There's a little disconnect you get from it. So it's never going to be
Yeah.
Like, I'll never see a show I work on the same way you might see it.
Oh, that makes sense, dude. I'll never be able to listen to one of my records without picturing the room I recorded in. You know what I'm saying?
George Lucas had a really cool quote one time. I guess he said to Oprah or somebody like that, where he said he was jealous of all these people because he's never seen Star Wars. And I was like, what are you talking about? You've never seen Star Wars? You've seen it more times anyway. He's like, no, but I've never seen it. He's like, I've never been able to sit down and see like you guys have seen. He's like, I made the movie, so.
Yeah, he with virgin eyes, you know.
Yeah, that's how it is, though, when you're on a show. And, you know, so for him, I get it. He's probably like, that's not my favorite thing. I'm glad I did it. It was fun. And, but, listen, if he were to watch the new Binge and Attack, and there's not a crumb in his mind that's thinking, yeah, I should have done that.
Could you imagine? I really missed out.
I've been avoiding Critters.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. I did the Orville. I could have done New Binge. You know, no. Yeah.
Hey, if we decide to actually do our little fan film thing, we got to try our best to have something with Charlie.
Oh, that'd be amazing. I have a feeling we're all going to get together in October and just get drunk and watch the 4 movies, but...
That's what will happen. But hey, we got plenty of time when we're not together that we can think of shit. And I'm not joking. If we think of something, even if it's a corny trailer, if we do something that's worth putting the time into to make some puppets, I'll make a couple puppets for sure. I'll make them as animatronics and everything.
Ooh, can I be the fat bounty hunter?
We'll all 3 be bounty hunters, dude. That's what we'll be. And we'll just say, we're going to go grab the ugliest dudes and we'll transform, and then they'll just be us's. And they'll be like, yes. 3 goofy bounty hunters. But I'm dead serious. I'll put in the time to put to cast them up in something.
Well, I believe you, because we are too passionate about this shit.
That'd be fun. That'd be fun to sit there and play the puppets, too. The only reason is to make puppets, usually you have to do some stuff that compromises how long they last.
Sure.
And that's kind of an issue I have. I'm like, I don't want to build a puppet, then like spend all that time and money, and then like 2 years later, they're starting to fall apart. You're like, fuck.
Yeah.
It does suck, dude. Because I built a critter puppet like almost 20 years ago. It was not even close to as good, but and I got 90% of the hair done. And I remember just going like, all right, this is cool. And I played with it for a little bit, and then it started stiffening up, and then it started not moving, and then it became a static prop, and then within like 3 years, it was just falling apart.
Exactly.
I don't even know if I got pictures of it anymore. But anyway, I think that'd be fun.
Oh, absolutely. Well,
no, we got to do it. We have to. We got to at least throw our hats in there and try something.
I agree.
And
let's make a pack right now.
Manhunters too, or headhunter, so we can make a legitimate judgment on what we think. What's his name? Justin?
Jordan.
Who's the Jordan?
Jordan Downey.
Oh, the guy who's Bounty Hunters.
Yes.
Oh, okay. When you're thinking, I was instantly thinking Jordan Rubin.
No, he's the Zombievers.
Yeah, okay. That's why I was like, Jordan. Oh, yeah, because I want to see what his movie, I'd like to know a little bit more. Cause,
I would too.
But I'm totally down to do something like that. I think it'd be fun. I think a trailer might even be a funner thing than a little short, too, like you said, Chris.
I'm pretty set on the trailer idea. That makes the most sense.
Yeah, it'd be easy. I mean, in comparison, you just think of something, little tidbits of things here and there, and you can just shoot quick things. You don't need to actually.
Exactly. That'll be fun to edit together and shit.
Yeah.
But, people don't want to hear us rambling about this too much longer, but is there anything more we can really say about Attack at the moment before we sign off on the podcast here?
I feel like there was something that it's been on the tip of my tongue the whole time, that when I was just watching a little while ago, I was thinking of, but I can't think of it. I bet we must have hit on it by now.
Yeah, I didn't think they showed the main girl's butt enough either.
I don't think they showed any butt, did they? I think
no, there was no butts in this movie.
Yeah.
I mean, Leanne Curtis enters the franchise butt fucking first, literally. I mean, movie just did not know its source material.
How dare they? Yeah, I can't think of anything else. I mean, all it would be anything more is just complaints and
Yeah,
I didn't. But at the end of the day, listen, we got given stuff that this is what we got given. It's a bummer. We got Leprechaun coming out with fun stuff. We got. I mean, I don't know. I haven't seen Puppet Master, so I don't know. But
I loved the new Puppet Master, and I loved the new Leprechaun.
Yeah. How come we got this, though? This is so far down the line.
Because this is the franchise that is not taken serious. This is the one where people can get a hold of it, and they're like, no one really remembers it. I'm just going to have a lady fuck a critter. They would have never done that to Puppet Master, Gremlins, Leprechaun, anything. It's sad to say, but Leprechaun got so much more respect than Critters.
I agree.
And I don't get why.
Yeah. Leprechaun has always been full-blown cheeseball crap. I mean, even I like some of the original ones, but they're meant to be over-the-top cheesy. It's like a little leprechaun cruising around making leprechaun jokes. And even if you watch the original, which I watched not that long ago, it's super cheeseball. It's always supposed to be lowbrow B horror film.
Totally. But
yeah, they got treated better than. No, but I like those too. Don't get me wrong, but they got treated much better than Critters. And I think if somebody remade a Ghoulies movie, they'd probably do a better job.
Oh my God, I know. Son of a bitch.
Listen, I like part 2 of Ghoulies, but there's really no good Ghoulies movie.
Oh, Ghoulies 2 is the only good Ghoulies. I've been saying that for years.
Yeah, I don't think it's good. I think it's fun, though, but I like it.
Oh, dude, when they high-five each other, that's fucking awesome.
You know what I mean, though, by it. It's like,
yeah, I know what you mean.
There's super cheeseball about it. Everything's like beyond low-budget crap.
Yeah.
Cheese. And I guarantee they would get a better, better.
And I mean, that's where we kind of stand out as a fan base, because no fan base has ever gotten the shaft as hard as ours did, especially with New Binge.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just something, it's kind of something special in a way. No. But, okay, yeah, I agree.
There's nothing special about getting the shaft.
Yeah, special ed, maybe. Special ed is all I could say.
Well, I'm an optimist, you guys.
No, he finally saw this one. He's like, okay, New Binge just doesn't suck as bad now. I have to, because this movie does, it's supposed to be so fresh on your mind of the boredom. At least you had a reaction, like you said. It's easier to, because the only reaction is, why didn't I have a reaction to the new movie?
Well, that's the thing. We spent months being like, well, there's no way the new one can be worse than that.
Yeah.
And then it is. Well, to me.
On different levels. You know what? They're both how now, like before I thought this would look better, but it's like they're both just on the different ends of the spectrum of just where the failures happened.
Yeah.
Just like you stretched it out as far as you guys can go, and you gave us just the worst parts of it.
Well, honestly, I think it's one of our better podcasts, and I hope the creators listen to it, because I think we threw some real fucking good points out.
I think all they'll do is take it personally if they listen to it. I mean, because we all had some drinks before, so we all kind of got off, and we're all making jokes, and half the time when we're on the phone, I forget that we're doing a podcast. I'm just bullshitting with you guys anyway.
James told me that we ramble too much.
Yeah, so that's who's James.
James T. Mills.
Oh, but yeah, that's kind of the point, though. It's just, I mean, really, okay, if you think about it, Critters podcast can have 5 or 6 podcasts. That's really it. That's all you can have.
We've put weeks into content in this.
Because that's what rambling is. We're just dudes bullshit. That's kind of the best podcast I listen to. Or there's topics and then there's rambling, and it's more fun. And if it's
I agree.
Else, it is for us talking. So,
that's the thing. I never, they're like, I'll be like, yeah, I have a Critters podcast, but I don't recommend it. Because you'd really have to care as much as us to, like, truly be like, dude, I listen to every fucking episode. I just love hearing you guys ramble about Critters. There's only a few people out there that are probably thinking that.
Yeah. And I bet you half of them are just putting it on because it's Critter stuff. It doesn't matter. Just simply, like, there's a couple of us out there that are like, anything Critters I have to.
I don't even think Jonathan Lindsay listens.
Maybe he's a hater. Maybe he's the phantom hater that automatically
Oh yeah, there's always a dislike. There's always a dislike. This is okay. This is. I like that.
I thought it was funny, like, especially when like the first one we did, and it was just like dislike. I was like, yeah. Yeah, we're doing something right. Yeah. But then I disliked one of your. I think you like showed your like collection or something, and I had to dislike it just to fuck with you. I wanted to hear you. But I think somebody else already did. I think you got an instant one. I was like, oh man. So I wanted to see you, and I think you did post something on Facebook like, what the fuck, man? Instantly got some hate. And I was like,
well, there's a lot of people that hate me for my noise project, but they still follow everything I do just to like diss it and shit. So it could just be one of those douchebags for all I know.
Yeah. Hang on, guys. I got to go dislike Sean's video real quick.
Yeah, yeah. I'm going to.
Someone's just waiting every day looking your name up. Like, ooh, you're going to post something. I'm going to put a thumbs down, and I can't wait. Fuck him.
Yeah. He's going to fucking feel this one hard, yeah. So shit.
Well, yeah, like I think I said this last time, though. Like, I think the reason that there's more rambling, especially when I get on, too, is like, aside from three of us, when we actually talk or you two are talking, how often do you get to sit down and bullshit about all this kind of stuff? Usually it's just when it's in your head, you're thinking about it, because no one's going to sit down and
listen to the very first podcast we ever did, and you can just hear the excitement in Chris and I. It's almost like I've never gotten to talk about this out loud this way. You know, it's a beautiful episode, in my opinion. It's just, you can hear us becoming friends. You know,
it's true though, because I don't get to talk about. I mean, you don't. If you start talking like this to anybody, you'll get 10 minutes into it, and they're like, all right, something besides critters, dude. Like, we get it. You like critters.
Well, even when we have people on that are involved in the franchise, they want to segue away into the other accomplishments they did, and it's like,
you're like,
yeah, dude, Elm Street 3, whatever. Get back to the critters.
I know.
Until the guy brought up Strays, and then we're like, okay, you caught our attention.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, and I got Strays. I haven't put it on my computer yet, but I did get that Blu-ray of it, so.
Yo, dude, rip that shit.
Yeah. I remember, Sean, whenever we recorded the podcast with Mick Strawn, we were like, we introduced him on the show, and we were like, yeah, he worked on A Nightmare on Elm Street 3 and Nightmare on Elm Street 4 and Strays. But yeah, we're here to talk about critters, too, so.
Yeah. And you could just hear the guy. He's almost like, oh, I signed up for this tonight, didn't I?
Hey, you know what, though? There's still, like, a bunch of people. Like, sometimes you check it out, there's like 1,000 people listen to podcasts and stuff like that. So it's pretty, you know, there's some people out there that like listen to critter stuff.
It's questionable how long they get into the episode, but hey.
True. And, like, this one's probably gone on for a while, but, again, I forget we're even having a podcast. It just feels like we're just talking, so.
That's right. In fact, if you made it this far into the podcast, leave a comment that says, kill more Krites, but spell it with a C. And I will send you a Critters button for free.
And I will dislike the comment.
And I probably won't send you anything. But all right.
Yeah, but we're just a bunch of guys having some drinks and just bullshitting because we haven't got to talk in a while. So
yeah, no doubt.
That's what it ends up being. It's more for us than, or at least when I'm on, it's more for me just bullshitting with some dudes than it is for.
Well, I can't wait till we do it. We're doing a live podcast in person, right? When we all get together.
Oh,
we kind of plan that, and we're gonna watch all the movies live and shit.
Dude,
that'll be a ball.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be fucking sloshed by part 4.
This is the best. Like 4 days in a row.
You know what, guys? This is the best one.
You'll get me to like it by the end of it. By the end of 4, I'm going to like watch.
I bet we will, because you'll have a new memory to tie to it. But okay,
72-hour Critters marathon.
It's gonna be fucking awesome, dude. It's gonna be the best October of my life.
We'll be the only ones to actually get through it, and then we'll probably listen to it afterwards. Everyone else gets 20 minutes and they'll be like, okay.
I have only re-listened to the first episode. I'd never re-listened to these. I've listened to the first one a few times just because it's a magical moment between me and my homie Chris. But otherwise,
I have to listen to every single episode at least once because I have to edit them. But
you poor guy.
Yeah, I've listened to most of your guys' podcasts, but like the ones that I've done with you, I haven't listened to again.
Right? Yeah, I don't want to. Yeah.
But I've listened to the ones that I've recorded for you guys that I wasn't part of, where I'll go back and re-listen to that because I only hear parts of it. Because usually, if I'm recording and not, if I'm just recording for you guys, I'm usually like in the garage or doing something else. So.
Well, you've like sculpted to the podcast, haven't you?
Yeah. Well, what I do is since I'm recording it in the room, I sculpt the podcast that have already been recorded off of YouTube.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
But half the time I go, hey, get off of her, you bastard. My dogs. But half the time I'll record you guys, I'll have to go in my garage and work. And, like last time, I think I was putting hair on a critter baby or something like that.
Yeah, but then you like chimed in at one point.
Sometimes I'll come in to see if it's still recording because I double check it, but I also make sure that you guys that it's not recording for like an hour and you guys have stopped recording. And then I think I heard you guys once, yeah. Well, I think I looked up a guy's name for you or something. You're like, yeah, shout out to so-and-so. I can't think of his name.
Yeah, then you chimed in, yeah.
Yeah. But no one can hear me, but you guys.
All right, so we better, like, sign off the podcast here or something.
Oh, yeah. It's like 2 in the morning for you guys.
Yeah, probably. All right, final thoughts?
Man.
Underwhelmed.
Underwhelmed. Agreed. Well,
wait, final thought. I thought I liked it.
Yeah. I thought it would be good.
We ruined it for you. All right. It sucks to end on that negative of a fucking note, but hey.
The movie's negative, but we're laughing right now because we're bullshitting, so it's a positive note. That's the way I look at it.
Absolutely. Me too. It's cool. I've made some good friends through all this shit, so I don't care if they put out a shitty movie and it gives me something to talk to you guys about. It's still a good time for me.
Exactly.
And guys, coming soon from me, Chris, and Sean, Critters, a return to Grover's Bend.
There you go.
There you have it.
There you go. All right. Let's end it on that note. Kill more Krites.
Kill more Krites.
Kill more Krites.
All right.